Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell. You'll get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And when I'm not asking Bruce, hey, how big was Batista's? Well, you know. One of the things I like to do is help people save money. And if you're watching this video right now and you're in a 30-year loan, man, you're overpaying your single biggest bill and you may not even realize it. I want you to do a little experiment for me. Take your calculator out, multiply your monthly house payment by 360 payments. That's how many payments there are in a 30-year loan. That big scary number, that's your total of payments. You're looking at that number? You know you can do better. Keep more of your own money right now and go to savewithconrad.com. Or maybe you've got credit card debt. Man, it's not a matter of if I can save you money with that. Your average interest rate on a credit card is more than 20%. And by the way, all the interest you pay on those credit cards, it's not tax deductible. Whereas the mortgage interest, well, that is tax deductible. So if you owe this debt, it's up to you how to pay it back. Doesn't it make sense to get the cheapest rate possible and the greatest tax deduction possible? Find out how much money you can save right now for free at savewithconrad.com. You don't need perfect credit. Even scores in the 500s can be approved, and it's no cost out of pocket. But maybe best of all, we're licensed in more than 40 states. We can help more families than ever before. But how much can we save you? Find out right now for free with a quick quote from savewithconrad.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
Welcome to WHW Monday. Tony Schiavone and Conrad Thompson.
Jim Crockett for Starrcade, 605 NWA. TV title, Cajun Omni, the Bunkhouse Stampede. Flair and Horseman, Garvin, Bogey, Magnum, Dusty, Express Tag Team. Turner, Barton, Mid-South Joy World Championship Wrestling.
Talking about the great years of World Championship Wrestling, the NWA, and Jim Crockett Promotions.
Tony and Friends North, they win. Look, Schiavone's back again. World title split off center stage, Bischoff, Disney, Hogan, and Nitro. New World Order and the Crow. Thunder, Russo, Arquette Champ, Vinnie Mac, simulcast. Tony's back with Conrad, not your classic podcast. Watch along, try not to laugh. Lowest rules can't pass. This wasn't the initial plan. Thompson's a good-looking man. Klondike Bill, make a chant. Tommy, you come over here.
What happened when?
WHW Monday. And now, let's go to the ring. And here's your co-host. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to
What Happened When?
With Tony Schiavone. Tony, how are you, man?
Good. What's going on? How come you didn't do the big What Happened When?
Because I'm not a circus monkey. I'm not up here with my goddamn symbol for you. Okay. I don't have to do everything. You can do some stuff.
Yeah, sure can. Circus monkey. How you been?
Man, I'm here. I'm excited to talk about Starrcade 98.
Mm-hmm.
It's, coffin on roller skates time for WCW, is it not?
Yeah, this is, we're starting to slide downhill. And, you and I already talked about sliding downhill anyway. And we kind of, last week touched on that, about how we were sliding down the hill with the go home show to Starrcade 98. And now we are on a slippery slope with them roller skates, and we're a coffin, and the body's starting to stink and and we never did become a zombie, came back alive. Once we died. So it's a rough time, but it's the holidays, Conrad. So I'm not going to let this bullshit show fuck me out of a bad holiday.
You mean ruin your holiday? This is not a bad holiday. This is a great holiday.
Yeah, it's a great holiday. It's great.
Oh, wait, you got heat with Christmas? Who has heat with Christmas?
I got heat with the freaking world. I got heat with the world. Okay.
What's going on with you, Tony? Can we just talk about this? What's going on?
Yeah. Okay. No, look, here's what I've got. I've got you and I've got WHW every week on Wednesday.
That's
also
right.
On Wednesdays, I've got AW. I've got the dogs. I got Lois. That's it. I don't even know. They called me recently and said, hey, do you know the Georgia Bulldogs are going to go to the Peach Bowl against Cincinnati? I went, no. They said, you should know because you're going to work it. I said, well, I just figured somebody would tell me. I don't know what's going on.
What is a peach bowl?
It's a bowl that you put on your counter and put peaches in.
And you're going to actually have a football game inside of, who are y'all going to play? Like a bunch of fucking nothing happenings, like the Cincinnati Bearcats or something?
Bunch of nothing happenings. And that's kind of what the college football season's been. It's been a nothing happening college football season.
Well,
they should have just said, okay, you know what we're going to do? We're going to give this trophy to Alabama. Let's not even show up.
Well,
really? You think somebody's going to beat Alabama? You think it's really going to be a competitive game? I know for some reason the Florida game was. I have no idea why that was. But do you think it really is going to be competitive?
Not against old Notre Dame. They're getting just beat down. We know that. Yeah. The real question will be the next time. And what do you think? Call it now. Predict it now. Will it be Clemson? Will it be Ohio State? Oh, don't say I don't care. Sting's not there. I'm not interested.
Ohio State played 2 games this year, so they qualify for some sort of bullshit championship.
Yeah, they got a participation trophy, stole an opportunity. Mm-hmm. They're in there. So you're saying it'll be Alabama and Clemson at the end?
That's what I think it'll be.
How great would it be if Alabama got to thump Trevor Lawrence and send him to the NFL limping along?
I don't want to do that because he's going to end up playing for our Jacksonville Jaguars, apparently.
Well, why don't y'all want like a real stud like Mac Jones? I'm just kidding. Everybody knows Trevor's better. Here's the deal. We're not going to bullshit you anymore. We're watching Starrcade 1998. Tony, I remember this pay-per-view fondly because me and a lot of our listeners were like at our peak fandom here in 97, 98. But boy, we watched the countdown show or the go home show last week and it was not fucking good, man.
No, it wasn't. The things were not going well. And I'm trying to put my finger on why things were going well. And I guess we kind of put our finger on it many times, last time, but, yeah, things are not going well for the company.
By the way, I want to remind you that the same week, within the same calendar 7-day period that you guys do Starrcade 98, Mankind becomes world champion, beating The Rock. Now, of course, we know it doesn't air until January because it was on tape delay. But that's when you guys were doing the finger poke. You made fun of that. People changed the channels. So this might be the worst 7-day period WCW had in a long time.
Yeah, it probably was. I mean, it seems like when it was raining, it was pouring, right? I mean, just one bad decision after another. And
let me set the stage for Starrcade, by the way.
All right.
We've got an undefeated Goldberg. The streak is real. He's our world champion. We've also got Kevin Nash as a challenger. He's super over. The Wolfpack is a real thing. But unbelievably, the show got 16.7% thumbs up, 0 in the middle, and 83.3% of the votes were thumbs down. It is not good. But we're going to watch it here because that's what we do here. We're a glutton for punishment. Tony, I've got it fired up on my end. How do you suppose we want to do a countdown this week?
Well, we are going to do a countdown from Mike Kolb, who I think Mike does a little work for ad-free shows.
Roll Tide on that. Thank you, Mike.
People keep calling me. Do you hear that my phone ringing?
Yeah, we do, but we just assume that's Vince McMahon trying to beg you to come back to work.
Yeah, right. So we're going to have Mike Kolb give us a countdown. Mike, he's with ad-free shows, but he's also longtime low-key big hog. And not only that, and Mike would probably agree with this, he's also a piece of shit. So let's go to Mike Kolb, piece of shit, with our countdown.
This is Mike Kolb of Crown Point, Indiana, proud to be a loyal listener of What Happened When. There are many titles in my life that I embrace. Low-key big hog, top guy, Chicago Cubs season ticket holder.
Thanks.
Go Cubs, go! Dad. But the one I embrace most proudly is friend of Tony Schiavone. Little did Tony know when he asked to become my friend, I would fester into being more annoying to him in his daily life than those hemorrhoids that simply just won't go away. Thanks for all that you do for us, Tony. And shout out to you too, Conrad.
Oh.
Now let's get this party started with the countdown. 3, 2, 1, play.
Track it. I hate that Starrcade logo.
Huh. Yeah. You know what? You know what it tells me? It tells me the end is here near.
I don't like that WCW/NWO thing. I get the need that you guys felt like, man, this is such a hot brand. We've got to feature it. I understand that, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem as cool to me. Perhaps in 96, it could have worked, perhaps in 97, but by 98, I just didn't think of the NWO the same way anymore, especially by this point in the year. I guess we should,
because they weren't the same.
A month prior, as a reminder, Hulk Hogan retired on the Tonight Show to announce instead he's going to try to become president of the United States. Yeah.
Boy, I'm glad I forgot that.
Can you imagine? Oh my God. What is going on right here? This looks like see no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil, or whatever.
Okay. We played that part before, but it's three good looking guys right here.
But what's up with the collarless shirts? You guys were like,
well, in 98, that was kind of in style, wasn't it?
What's fun too is to look at the jackets on the different lapels. It almost feels like when you go to that little dumpy store in the mall where you rent tuxedos. How big would you like your lapels? Do you want them on the left, sort of in the medium, on the right, kind of small, or in the middle, way too fucking big? Maybe you want to look like a low rent pastor, not one who has like a congregation or anything, but just somebody who pulls up on the corner, lets down the truck bed and stands in the back, just hooting and hollering at traffic. Here's what you need. One of these shirts with a button at the top.
You done?
Oh, well, how would you describe what you're wearing?
Very fashionable.
Can you wear it this coming Wednesday on Dynamite?
No.
Why not?
Because we've already taped it.
Hey, you motherfucker. This airs on Wednesday. I said this coming Wednesday, not later today. Jesus, okay. Get a calendar.
No, because I've got my own thing I got to wear on Dynamite.
Well, just, put AEW on that. I'm sure Tony won't care. You seen what he lets JR wear? The fuck?
You tell JR you can't wear it. See what happens.
I'm not telling JR nothing. Apparently nobody else is either.
Oh boy. Well, look here. Here we are into the Goldberg era. Let me ask you a question. As I see the entrance with Goldberg there and hear the music did we make a, look, I know people look back and say, you made a mistake beating Goldberg.
No, I don't think that was a mistake. I think it's how you beat him. Eventually he has to lose. That's wrestling.
Right.
Well, let me just ask you though, when you look at this scene of the three of you, we'll come back to Goldberg. Isn't it interesting that neither one of these guys speak to you anymore?
Tenay does. The other one's dead.
Nah. Tenay don't talk to you for real.
Yeah. Somebody's texting me from his number.
I'm just telling you, it ain't him. Okay. Oh, look at this little package here. So let's talk about it. You mentioned it a minute ago. By the way, you're not going to see much Bret Hart here, but you do see him right here, which I think is fun because they're plugging QVC. Tune in after the pay-per-view and buy some shit you don't need from some people who don't care if you buy it. It's WCW in 1998. Yes, they had him cut a promo for QVC.
Well, you do what you can to make money, right?
But here's the deal. This isn't on Nitro. This isn't on Thunder. This is a goddamn pay-per-view. And I'm sure their point is, well, that means they have disposable income. Just saying. No, listen, I think you absolutely have to beat Goldberg. I mean, with the exception of Floyd Mayweather, nobody stays undefeated forever.
Right.
So you have to eventually, and by the way, if you tell the right story, people can get right behind it. But the trouble here is you beat him with 19 guys interfering and a shock stick. Mm-hmm. And then you come back and instead of letting him get his rematch and win it back, you accuse him of rape, send him to jail. He sprints into the ring, but it's too late. Hulk Hogan's already decided he doesn't want to be president. He just wants to be champion and let Kevin Nash take a bump for him off a finger and ta-da, we've got a new champ. So that's not a good story. I think the move would have been when Goldberg goes to spear DDP at Halloween Havoc. He, instead of hitting his shoulder and hurting it legitimately, he quote unquote hits his head and is knocked out. He gets up all woozy eventually. And as soon as he gets up all woozy, diamond cutter, 1, 2, 3. And the diamond cutter was so over that people would have bought it as a real devastating finish. He had beaten everybody with it. And you could have made DDP in that day as being the guy who nobody thought would ever beat him, but he did. And I think you could still keep Goldberg strong because you could say, well, if he hadn't hit his own head on the post, he really knocked himself out. It wasn't the diamond cutter. Then you could have set up a rematch here at Starrcade. And I think that would have been cool. Now there's at least a story. And by the way, at the rematch, I would have had Goldberg just legitimately spear him, jackhammer him. We're back in business. Mm-hmm. But now you've proven, hey, he can be beaten, but you've got to outsmart him. Not, you got to call 13 of your buddies and hope one of them has a cattle prod.
And they say you couldn't book.
No, I'm just freestyling.
Shit, man, you know what you're doing.
I mean, don't you think that would have been better than what they did?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Taking a shit and putting it on top of your head and quacking like a duck would have been better than what we did.
Wait, say that again. Taking a shit and quacking like a duck?
Taking a shit, putting it on your head and quacking like a duck, or standing on your head and farting the Star Spangled Banner would have been better.
Have you done either one of those in real life?
No.
Man, I really was hoping you'd say differently. Hey, I drove through your home state last week and this week.
Wow. Do you remember where you drove through?
Virginia.
What? I know what part.
Well, here's my question. I ran into a lot of interesting things that I have questions about. Did you meet Lois in Virginia?
No, North Carolina.
She's not from Virginia, right?
Actually, she's from nowhere.
What does that mean?
That means she's from nowhere. That means she,
where'd she shoot out of her mama?
Okay. Atchison, Kansas.
Okay.
And she and I lived in Virginia about 20 miles apart for a long time before we even knew each other.
Okay. So she was from, here's my question.
She spent some time in Virginia. She's not from Virginia.
But all right, true or false? We've talked about this from episode 1. Lois has ruined your life. I just feel like I drove right through your state. There's a Salem right there. They know what to, people in Salem know what to do with women like Lois. You know what I mean?
No. So you went through Salem and Roanoke.
I drove right through Roanoke, Blacksburg. I mean, all that dumb shit that you used to like.
As a matter of fact, you went right by the campus of where I went to college in Harrisonburg, James Madison University.
I did. Yeah.
Went right by there. Yeah.
Scrolled right through there.
That's where I went to school.
Didn't learn much.
So the Salem thing again?
Yeah. What about it?
What were you saying?
You know, Salem's where they burned all the witches or whatever.
Oh no, that's a wrong Salem. You're talking about Salem up in the north. You're talking about Salem up in Massachusetts.
All right.
Not
listen,
Salem, Virginia. Okay.
All right. Listen, I know a thing or two about West Virginia. I don't need your help.
No, you do. Yeah. You obviously don't, because you didn't even know what state you were in. So don't give me that bullshit.
Hey, it's been a rib for years, Tony, that I say West Virginia. So now I'm doing the same thing about Salem. Fucking lean into it. I've got bits planned.
Okay.
So anyway, about this Salem thing.
Yeah.
Did you know that one of the tests that they would have done on Lois to see if she was a witch or not was to see if she could swim?
Did not know that.
This is real.
Okay. All right.
They would, they take them to their nearest body of water, strip them down to their underwears. Then they would, make sure they tied their hands together and they dump them in the water to see if they float. And the idea is, if you're a witch, you'll float because the water would reject them because they hadn't been baptized. But if you sank, and drowned, then you were not a witch. So the only way to prove you weren't a witch was to drown. And I'm just thinking, you could have been like, you know what? I've had it up to here with this goddamn dog hair, taking you up the road to Salem. All right, boys and girls, think she's a witch, tie her up, throw her in the lake. Let's see what happens. And boom, all your problems are solved.
Thanks for that bit of advice. I didn't, did you, how long did you probably thought about this routine as soon as you went through Salem, didn't you?
Well, there isn't a routine necessarily. I just wanted to talk about burning Lois at the stake. As I was scrolling through there, I'm thinking, can you imagine? And boy, I'm gonna piss off some listeners here, but can you imagine how fucking silly it was? Or maybe it wasn't everybody, but there was a large contingent of people who were like, oh, that woman's a witch, burn her alive.
Yeah.
And it was like, everybody was like, yeah, wait a minute. What now? She's doing what? Well, she's got these dolls and she stabs them with a pen, or she says these weird things and has weird tendencies. Oh, you mean she's a fucking cat lady? Like in 2021, that's just being a cat lady. That's not being a witch. Like they would have assumed, based on the fact that you shower once a week and you don't trim your toenails or fingernails, and you don't leave the house and your house is covered in dog hair. They would just assume you were a witch, and if you would have moved, if you would have lived way back yonder, that would have been a whole thing. I hope there was some fat bearded gentleman who said, no, he's one of us, and saved him. You know, Sir Conrad or something like that. Burning witches, bro.
Well, you know, I mean, we learned as a society, as humanity, we have learned so much since that time. However, we are now sliding back down into ignorance again. So it all comes full circle.
Let me mention, by the way,
humanity, as I might say, is cyclical.
We're watching the best match on the card, and it's not close. It's Rey Mysterio Jr., Billy Kidman, and of course, my favorite, Juventud Guerrera. Out of everyone who watched this pay-per-view and sent their poll results in, thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle, best match, worst match, all that stuff to Dave, every single voter voted for this match. Not one other match got a single vote. If you're going to watch one match from this show, from a historical perspective, it's certainly the main event, because you'll just shake your head and go, what? But from an actual in-ring performance standpoint, this is going to be pretty hard to beat. The Juice has his mask off, but Billy Kidman is becoming a single star here. Rey Mysterio still has his mask, but Eric Bischoff has big plans to ruin him in just a few months. But I don't know who's working harder here. Is it Hoovy? Is it Ray? Is it Kidman? Or is it Charles Robinson? Because Charles is flying around this damn ring, dude.
It's not Kidman.
Oh, God.
I can tell you that. Kidman is one of those idiots.
We should mention, by the way, this match gets 4.5 stars, 14 minutes and 55 seconds. Wow. Highly, highly recommend it. And by the way, they're not done. Once it's over, Kidman has another match with someone else here. We'll see who in just a minute, I guess.
All right. Yeah, Ray was, at least, you know, I give Kidman well-deserved hard time. The same way we give David Flair a hard time.
Yeah, by the way, we should remind everybody, that's all Torrie Wilson heat. That's not real life heat.
No, that's right. But look at that. Are we on the, I think I may be behind you or ahead of you.
Did you see that move right there?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So we're in the same spot. Give everybody your time code.
I got 1443.
I'm there with you, but I'm just saying a Hurricane Rana off the shoulders. It looks like a doomsday device, but we flip a motherfucker off. What?
It's amazing, isn't it?
It is.
Way ahead of its time. Just, and Kidman could work, you know, I don't know. I'm not so sure that I like this ring gear of his, but this was part of, I guess, of Raven's flock or whatever. But I mean, Billy could do some things. It's odd that this is, Washington, DC, same arena where AEW began, first TNT show, home of the Wizards. We were doing big business back then. obviously, but business was about to slow down drastically.
Wow. I kind of forgot that I was there, but I kind of forgot that this was that same building from Starrcade 97 and 98.
Right.
Kidman's up top.
We had a tendency as a company that when we found a building to do a pay-per-view in, we would stick with that building. Like we did a couple of Starrcades in Washington. Then when things got worse, we did a couple of Starrcades in Nashville at the old Memorial Auditorium. We did a couple of Halloween Havocs in Las Vegas, MGM Grand. So it's kind of like going back there once again type deal, type thing.
What was the atmosphere like on a big show like this? I mean, this is the highest of highs. I mean, at the time, you know, you feel like, man, this is as good as it's ever going to get. And I guess certainly it is, but you didn't know, okay, this is the beginning of the end. You do now with the benefit of hindsight. But what was the atmosphere that day?
You talking about in the backstage area?
Yeah. Just, I don't know, out in the crowd, backstage, the day of, just give me something.
Okay. Well, backstage, the feeling was, hey, this is a big, big show, and it's our big show, and it's our Starrcade, and we are red hot. And so it had the feeling of a big, big show. However, when you would go out in the arena and the fans would get into the stuff, and then you would see a shitty match, like coming up, Norman Smiley and Prince Iaukea. You would see a shitty match, and then you would recognize and see the fans' response. You knew something was wrong, and you knew you were going the wrong direction. I mean, we knew this. It wasn't the over prevalent feeling at that time. It would get more and more and more as we, went forward, but you could see the fans' reaction and see that we were doing things wrong. But I mean, again, Goldberg comes out, everybody goes crazy. They pop for Ric Flair and, the old NWO, but the NWO is not what it once was. But it was a pretty good feeling backstage. We were pretty excited about it. Look at this. Look at this. This is, man, just falling right straight on his freaking head. God, there ain't no way you can work at, kids.
These guys are pulling out all the stops here.
Yeah. When you go fall on your head, you're going to fall on your head. You can try to turn for your shoulder, but look at Bray, man. And see, unfortunately, the fans, some spectacular stuff that the fans just didn't pop for.
Hey, me and you haven't talked about this. I haven't talked about it with anybody, but which I can't believe I'm saying this. Did you see WWE set a motherfucker on fire over the weekend?
No.
Yeah. That's the whole story. There's nothing else.
No, you got to tell me the whole story.
Randy Orton poured gasoline or kerosene all over Bray Wyatt and lit him on fire. He's on fire now.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So they stole that from putting Sting on fire.
Really? Well, GCW did it a few weeks ago, and
GCW?
Kane was on fire way back when.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, working with fire in 2020, I didn't have that on my 2020 bingo card. What do you think will happen? Sting will come back and hug Schiavone.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have that. Also didn't have Randy Orton sets the motherfucker on fire. By the way, did you get any heat from Taz last week after we had a little fun?
No, not really.
I didn't either. How did we get so lucky?
Hey, you're the lucky one, because I got to see him every other week or so.
Oh, so seeing him as punishment. Is that what you're trying to say?
At times, yeah.
Oh, really? Say it in a loud, clear voice. One more time.
At times, seeing Taz is punishment.
Tony Schiavone was 62.
No, look, we have a lot of fun with Taz.
Of course we do.
I have a lot of fun with him. He can take a rib as well as anybody to a certain extent.
Oh, you can push it too far though.
You damn right you can push it too far. but I have a lot of time for him.
And he'll let you know when you get there.
Yes.
There, you won't be confused as to how it happened.
Yeah, absolutely. But I like his group. Love Ricky Starks. Brian Cage looks like $1 million. I think Hook's going to be good. He's a young kid who's training and has been training the right way. And,
man, we don't talk about Brian Cage enough. Tell us about Brian Cage.
Big, strong, can do a lot of things for a big, strong guy. FTW champion, which means fuck the world champion.
Oh, well, that was aggressive.
Well, I thought when Brian Cage first appeared at the Casino Battle Royale with cheese. Royale with cheese. I thought that, and all those ladders, were thrown on top of him and he came off for that. I thought it was very, very well done.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Well, that's real good, Tony. Real good.
What are you trying? You're always digging for some shit.
What am I digging for?
I don't know. That's good, Tony. That's real good. Yeah.
Well,
okay.
I'm trying to be supportive.
Thank you. Hey, is this show over yet?
I wish it was. I tried to get you to watch a 90-minute show. You wanted to watch this 3-hour one. Look at this. A shooting star to the floor. Hey, listen, that happens every Wednesday night, but back in 98, that was a big time move, my friend.
Yeah. And there you see some of the fans standing up cheering for that. Yay, Billy with a good move.
Can I just say it's really hard to be a badass when your name is Billy.
It sure is.
I mean, seriously, can you imagine? You wait till Billy gets here. He's going to kick the shit out of you. Wait, what's his name? Billy. Well, fucking give him my home address. Tell him I'll leave the front door unlocked.
Oh, Eddie Guerrero's out.
Eddie Guerrero's such a badass here.
Yes, he is.
Look, Kidman hasn't won.
Mm-hmm. But there's, watch out. Here he comes. Oh, and Juventud's going to win it. Referee's back's turned.
Come on, Charles.
1, 2, new, and a save.
Look at there. Kidman wins. Let's track it.
And now, Guerrero is celebrating. Meanwhile, Kidman rolls up Guerrero and retains the WCW Cruiserweight Championship.
And he earned it.
Wow, what a way to open Starrcade.
A very distraught, I don't know if that's the proper term or not, Eddie Guerrero remains in the ring as Kidman, who gave it his all for 15 plus minutes, walks back with the gold firmly back around his waist. Bobby Heenan.
Look at this move. There's nothing I can say. Suicide move off the top rope. Never seen it done before. Mysterio comes in here now to save his own hide, but he wound up saving it for Kidman. There's your winner. Kidman still retains the title.
You're always messing up the shot. You're always messing up the shot. You can't deal with it. You can't take it. You are an LWO. And you moron. You're just as moron as he is. You're even more of a moron than he is. Ahí te lo dejé plantado y no le podías ganar. I left him laying, man. You couldn't finish the job and I left him laying. You're a moron. You're a moron. You guys aren't worth LWO material. You guys aren't LWO material. I can't believe this. That belt is supposed to be LWO. You can't beat a cream puff. Huh? I can't believe you can't beat a cream puff. Shut up. I'm talking. I can't believe you can't beat a sissy boy like Kidman. He's a pretty boy. He's probably getting ready to go out on a date. He's probably combing his hair because you guys can't hack it. Man.
Never seen him like this.
No, neither have I. And
You are an embarrassment. I don't got nothing to do with you. Me das vergüenza, sí. Ahí te lo dejé y no lo pudiste acabar. Especialmente tú. All you do is fight against me. All you do is go against anything I say, and I'm trying to do the best that I can. You're supposed to be the best in the world, and you're supposed to be the best in the world. Hey, when you want something done, I guess you just gotta do it yourself. So Kidman, if you're back there, and if you can hear me, you dweeb, this Vatos Loco is gonna challenge you to a Cruiserweight champion because I know I can win it.
Now, Kidman's already gone, Eddie.
You know, Eddie, you talk a lot of garbage when you're all the way over there. But if you want a shot, there's no time like the present.
Don't be foolish.
Foolish is right, the man
I tell you what, pretty boy, you let me go get my stuff on, and I'll be more than happy to kick your butt all over this ring. I said,
wait a minute. I don't mean to go in the back. If you want to talk out of that garbage now, you're really the sissy if you won't fight me right now.
Ball's in your court, Eddie.
Hey, wait a minute. I haven't even had a chance to prepare mentally. Cállate!
What's the matter, Eddie? Are you afraid?
I haven't had a chance to get ready. No, I'm not afraid.
If you got the time,
I want a piece of you, pretty boy. You want me? All right.
So how about it? Eddie Guerrero, Billy Kidman. Not the best promo work from either guy, but we're about to see some badass wrestling.
Yeah, we are. And we're going to see some badass wrestling with Eddie wearing hush puppies or work boots on.
There's a big difference between that, but the fact that you can't tell the difference explains a lot. You know, with your fucking Skechers on TV.
Yeah. You know, he called him a sissy and a pretty boy and a dweeb.
What I liked, he's a sissy. He's probably getting ready to go on a date and comb his hair. Wait, all right. First of all, sissies. Wait, what? Go on a date, comb his hair? Right. Like, is that why you didn't comb your hair for so long? You listened to Eddie Guerrero and didn't want to be a sissy?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Good to know.
So I didn't take a shower for so long.
I didn't realize that was all Eddie's influence. Hey, am I wrong about this? But I mean, I might be. He's just a few days away from having a horrific car crash, isn't he? Like 4 days after this is when Eddie had a really, really unbelievable crash.
I'm sure you can look that up. I don't remember actually the time frame.
It's either New Year's Day or New Year's Eve, but it's just a handful of days from this. So this is his, I don't know if he wrestled Nitro the next time, but this is certainly his last pay-per-view match before that. I mean, close call.
Yeah, that's, and you know, it's,
he did wrestle the next day. It was him and Juventud against Kidman and Rey Jr. in Baltimore.
Right.
Running a big pay-per-view in DC and then running TV the next day in Baltimore. That's essentially the same fucking town. They're so close.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's what you do to try to save on money.
Absolutely. Or you could just, run your shows in a building that the owner owns attached to his football stadium. Then you don't have to pay any rent.
How about that?
That's like a life hack right there.
How about that?
You don't have to rent. You don't have to pay rent if you own it. See?
Yeah. Is that smart or what?
Thinking.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe more owners should be smart enough to own their own arena, but maybe they're not. Hey, so I got to thinking about Eddie's car crash, and it brought up something that I was thinking about. And, I drive down to Jacksonville all the time and drive back. It's 5 hours up, 5 hours back. But back in the day, way before this, when there were territories, and even during this era in the 90s, 80s, 90s, with all the house shows and all the travel, it's amazing that we didn't hear of more car crashes with wrestlers.
Right.
Because, you knew that, especially, that drunk driving has always been the wrong thing to do, but
everybody was drinking back then. Yeah.
Yeah. There was a lot of drinking beer back then and driving from town to town. And you just, you didn't hear of it.
Right.
You really didn't. And there were, I mean, especially in the old Mid-South territory, there were thousands of miles put on cars all the time. It was a big driving territory. So it's kind of amazing. It really is that we didn't hear more of that. I know the New Breed. Remember the New Breed?
Oh yeah. I know you do.
Their career really was kind of cut short. I mean, they came on TBS hot and strong, Chris Champion. And and then they had that car wreck in South Carolina where they went through the windshield, and that, they had to have plates put in their arms and everything. It was really bad. That was the one I remember. Of course, Ric Flair had his plane crash that everybody remembers, but other than that, all the travel, man, I guess we went through it, got through it. Then Eddie had his crash as well. And yep. Something else. And now, of course, these days, the WWE takes tour buses, right?
No, they don't.
They don't?
No.
Well, not now, but they were taking tour buses, right?
No, they don't. You saw one once for NXT, and that's the reason you've convinced yourself that that's the case, but it's not the case.
Okay. I thought between TVs, they took tour buses. I'm wrong.
No, everybody's jumping in a rental car and driving, but I think all that's over. I think people are just going to set up shop, and it's a TV show, and that's it. It's just closed set Jones. And this is the way life is now.
It sure is.
What do you think about it?
Oh, I think it's fine. I enjoy it.
Well, good.
I think it's good. I enjoyed, I think we're slowly going to get fans back.
Yeah. I mean, you guys have been letting some in.
Right. Yeah. And I think we're going to be, once this vaccine out and, people don't turn into zombies, by taking the vaccine. If that happens, then it's going to be, very, very good.
Oh, hey, shout out to, Super Dave. I'm sorry. Pond Water Dave. He and his wife both have the Rona.
Do they really?
Yeah.
How did they get the Rona?
Well, I don't know. I think he really thought he was impervious because A, he drinks pond water, bottles it, in fact. B, Diet Mountain Dew, steady stream. And most importantly, flaming hot Cheetos. I mean, his fingers are just flaming hot dust 24/7. So in my head, if you can do that, like, it'll counteract, but it was not the case. And he caught the Rona.
So is it a severe case? Is he doing okay? Just, it's mild on some people, severe on others.
Well, you know, my group chat, we didn't offer to set up a GoFundMe. We started picking what belts we wanted.
Doesn't surprise me.
He posted some new, action figures that he got delivered, to the group chat, and Dawkins said, "Boy, for someone who just got diagnosed, you sure are optimistic," which I thought was hilarious. Of course he ordered it days ago. It's not like he said, "Oh shit, I'm COVID positive. Let's run them down to the Walmart, get that new Andre figure." That didn't happen.
He didn't say it like that.
Oh, shout out to, Matt Coon.
Yeah.
He's got a giant tumor on his spine. Gonna have major 8-hour surgery after the first of the year.
Certainly hope it's benign. Gee whiz. So you got one with COVID. You got one with the tumor.
Shout out to Dave Silva's in-laws. They've both been hospitalized with the Rona.
You want to end this right now? Cause you are really depressing me.
Why? Shout out to the Bulldogs going to a bowl game no one's ever heard of against a football team from Cincinnati. No, not the Bengals. Another one.
The Peach Bowl is involved in the bowl championship series or the Final Four.
Huh.
So don't tell me the Peach Bowl no one's ever heard of. That's absolute Alabama bullshit.
The Final Four seems like it would be with the top 4 teams. Huh.
They rotate the games.
Okay.
Different venues.
What do you think about the Rose Bowl moving to Dallas since they won't let people come to California?
Don't you think that's probably par for the course?
Like, why not just close it for fans and say no fans?
Because it's California.
Yeah.
they want to control things there.
It is interesting too, where, they're like, hey, stay at home. Don't spend Christmas with your family. Stay at home. Oh, by the way, tickets are on sale now for the bowl game. Wait, what?
Yeah, I know. There's so many mixed messages. There are.
Here's an idea. Wear a mask, wash your hands, stay home when you can, and listen to WHW.
Yeah, that's right. Social distance. You can do it. You can be safe. You can do it.
We won't get you sick physically, just mentally.
Yeah, I can see how that is. So did Dave, Pondwater Dave Carter say, all right, I got the Rona. Is that how he said it?
No.
I got the Rona. I can't eat my flaming Cheetos anymore.
No,
they burn my gully.
No, he's fine. By the way, since we're talking about Rona, my cousin has Rona and has had Rona for 3 months.
Really?
Keeps testing positive every time, has no symptoms, feels fine. This is weird. I don't understand it. It's almost like Billy Kidman's push. No one can explain it. I mean, I see he's here. I see he's got a belt. I don't fucking know how he got here. People say, how did he get the belt? We're like, we don't know. And then we're like, fuck, let's get it off him. Let's take a double dose of this NyQuil, AKA Eddie Guerrero. Nope. That don't beat it neither. Well, let's throw Rey Mysterio in there. Nope. Let's throw Juventud. Nope. Well, goddamn, it can't get any worse, right? He's dating who now? God damn it. We needed a vaccine for Kidman. That's what we needed.
I agree with that. But you got to give him his props here because he's worked a lot so far in this show.
Isn't it great that Eddie Guerrero in jeans and work boots can out wrestle almost everyone in the locker room?
Right. And now it's jeans and one work boot.
Looking at our referee here, Scott Dickinson, I feel like he had the Rona before it was cool.
What do we got here? It's
a member of the LWO, buddy.
Okay. Well, and the reason it's a Craig Leathers production. It almost looked like it was a fan. They were trying to get off of it. You see, they weren't showing it.
That's his friend Spider.
Yeah.
I don't know if it is or not, but stupid ass Stan will tell us. He's obsessed with Spider.
Yeah, it is Spider. I remember he told us, is that what we're calling Stan now? Stupid ass Stan?
Yeah. SAS instead of SOS.
Okay.
Stupid ass Stan.
There you go. 1, 2, and Eddie does the job. How about that?
How about this though? Legitimately, it told a nice story. It got Kidman over real huge. He didn't just beat 2 guys. He beat 3 and there was outside interference, and it separates Ray a little bit from the pack. I really like it.
Yeah, I did too. I like both of these matches. And it was a great way to start. I don't know. Everybody gave the first match thumbs up. This should have gotten some pretty good numbers, stars, if you will, as well, I would think.
Meltzer would write, these events took precedence over a storyline created to get Billy Kidman over as a superstar. Excuse me. And while Kidman, injured going in, came out on top of a spectacular triangle match and followed with an impromptu win over Eddie Guerrero in another very good match, he was making a gutsy and nearly incredible performance before a crowd that didn't seem to care. So kudos in trying to push Kidman here, but I don't know about didn't seem to care. The crowd popped pretty big when he won.
Oh yeah, they did. They popped for it. And I think they popped for it because it was a hell of a finish and because Eddie gave him a good match.
Let's be clear too. Even though we've said this is a bad show, we're 40 minutes in and it's been real good so far. Let's track it. What the fuck was that?
That may have been a Daryl Marshall production.
Daryl, it sucked.
I only say that because Daryl, who works for Turner Broadcasting and who we see at many of our events, always listens to us. And he'll say, I did that and you guys shit on it. I said, okay, we're going to shit on some more of the stuff.
By the way, is it just me or is Norman Smiley fucking jacked right here?
Oh yeah, man.
I mean, he looks like, is he here for is he here for a bodybuilding competition or? I do like Norman's, commitment to the hair.
Norman Smiley sign and
he's got the big wiggle, baby. He's over it. Seriously. This is a top 5 favorite of my uncle's.
The big wiggle?
My uncle who died this year. So I'm trying to, the reason I keep giving you all this sad stuff, I should just tell you, me and Cassio are listening to, Cassio and I, were listening to, Howard Stern this week. And he played like, some best of clips, from years past. And there was an episode in 2018. How about, Iaukea here with, the hair just in the back that we saw last week? Anyway, sad Christmas songs where it's a Christmas song, but it's the most depressing shit you've ever heard. And so Cassio and I thought it was the funniest thing ever. And so I just decided at various points throughout the show, I would just give you sad, depressing facts.
Thank you.
Just to cheer you up, make your Christmas holiday a little more Schiavone.
Hey, that Schiavone thing is way overrated.
No, here's what I'm saying though. You know, it's like whenever you get, and everybody listening to this will be able to relate. If you are going to break protocol and spend time with your family this holidays season, inevitably, when you're catching up with some of these relatives you don't see all the time, and maybe you'll be doing it by phone instead this year. Either way, the conversation will happen. Well, did you hear about old so-and-so? When they start with that, whatever comes after it ain't fucking good news. They're not going to say, oh, did you hear about your old Uncle Larry? No, what happened? Won the goddamn lottery, bought an island, happier than ever. Married a supermodel, drives a Ferrari around the island. There's no roads there. He just off-roads with it. It's pretty great. No. What's about to follow is Larry got furloughed. Larry had to close up shop. Larry got the Rona. They ain't spreading no good news. It's always, did you hear about so? It's just negative every time. You ever notice that?
Yeah.
So my thing is, when people try to hit me with that, did you hear about so-and-so? I go, nope, don't want to. Really? I thought y'all were friends. Well, if we were, I would have already heard. You know what I mean? Kind of going about my day now. Keep that shit to yourself.
Yeah. Speaking of shit to yourself.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. It's not Norman's fault. We love Norman. It's that nothing happened in Prince Iaukea. And by the way, if Prince Iaukea would have came out in 97 with this haircut, might have given him more of a chance. It's at least interesting.
I probably have asked you this before, but compare Prince Iaukea to the artist formerly known as Prince. Did you like him better?
Hated them both. I can't explain it. It's an irrational hate. I just hate them both. By the way, boys and girls, our referee here is Billy Silverman. He is available for meet and greets. Find him on your social medias.
If we get back to meet and greets.
No, he's still doing them. Hey, here's what I want to do. Here's bonus content for adfreeshows.com. I want you and Lois to wrestle, and I want Billy Silverman to come referee. So have him running around your living room, sliding around. I want to see if you can put that bitch in the sharpshooter. Boston Crab. Torture wreck that ass.
You know that ain't gonna happen.
Why
not? It's just not. You know that.
What if I got Nick Patrick to do it? Wear like a ski mask?
Referee it doesn't matter. Referee be damned. It's not going to happen. Please. Don't you get it? First of all, she's got a couple of bad wheels.
Really?
Yeah. And second of all,
why don't you get her new ones for Christmas?
No, not yet. And second of all, I've got a bum knee now.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So here's the true story.
Schiavone Christmas. Here we go.
I go to a Chevron station.
Uh-oh.
to put gas in the rental car on December 4th, coming back from Jacksonville.
Okay.
On a Friday.
You got to get hot about it.
Oh, I'm hot about it. I pumped the gas, and guess what? There's no receipt at the pump.
Well, what does that matter?
It matters a lot because you file your receipts with your company. So I have to go inside to get a fucking receipt. And the only reason they don't put paper in there is they want you to come inside and buy something. Yeah, I get it. Okay. So, put the nozzle back, walk in. There is a big thing of oil or gas or something. I slip, fall down, turn my left knee. Yeah. A lot of pain. Okay. Go to a doctor, go to a couple of physical therapists, back on the mend. And 3 days after I turn my knee and I can barely walk around, guess what comes into the house?
The receipt.
No, my brand new Peloton that I can't even get on.
Wait a minute. Are you in Megan's cult now?
Yes, I am.
What the fuck?
Yes, I am.
How did I not know this was happening?
I took a picture of it and sent it to her. She didn't tell you that?
I don't talk to her. I'm out here talking to you.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. So I got a Peloton. I got a bad wheel and I can't use it. So we ain't going to wrestle is the long answer to your your silly question.
You're being hurtful.
Yeah. So that's the way it's going on around here. So what are you doing for Christmas? What's going on at the Conradison?
I'm getting, well, my family does things a little different. Sorry, differently.
Mm-hmm.
We have our gathering on Christmas Eve.
Okay. Some families do that.
Yeah. So, I mean, we do it on Christmas Day too, but Christmas Day is just lunch, right?
Sure.
So, I'll have some extended friends and family over on Christmas Day. We're doing temperature checks at the door. That's real.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we're squirting hand sanitizer in everybody's hands. So we're doing our best, but Christmas Eve is just literally going to be my nucleus family. I'm making a prime rib. So pretty excited about that.
Wow. That's tremendous.
Be my first time doing a prime rib. My parents got me a Traeger for Christmas. I'm not supposed to know that, but I know that because they asked me what model. And Dad doesn't listen, but I got Dad the exact same Traeger. And I was told that they were going to set mine up while I was traveling, but I haven't looked yet to see if it's set up. But if it's not, I'm going to set Dad's up. And then when, I open his, I'm just going to slide it back over to him because we got each other the same thing.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to cook, prime rib as my break-in for my new Traeger for Christmas Eve.
Okay. So, not knowing what a Traeger was.
Okay. It's a grill.
It's a grill. I'm looking it up right now under their website, and it's a pretty high-end grill.
Well, no, as far as these, I think they call this an offset smoker. Eric Bischoff has educated me on this a great deal because he got one last year or earlier this year and is now using it all the time. So I think what you would like about it is it's not a gas grill and it's not a charcoal grill like the briquettes. It's not even like a Komodo cooker, like my Big Green Egg. You put like this hardwood lump charcoal in it. It's
right.
None of that. It's these little wooden pellets over on the right. And I think he and I for a long time had no idea what those pellets are, but they're actually just wood in a funky shape. And you can pick the different type of wood. Do you want wood or do you want apple? Do you want hickory? Whatever the shit.
Right.
But it's all electric. So you just you can connect it to your phone and the whole deal. So you can stick the little meat probe in there and say, hey, tell me when this shit gets to 160. And it'll fucking ping your phone. Go take your meat off.
Wow.
You ever have somebody ping your phone and say, take your meat off?
Not in a long, long time.
Tony, I kind of forget you're so much older than everyone listening to this.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever gotten a booty call in your life for any reason whatsoever?
No.
Never.
It's not only about age. It's about personality. It's about where you grew up. It's about how you are as a person.
What does that mean?
Well, I mean,
you wouldn't participate in booty calls. Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, no, I grew up a nice young man. You grew up a
What are you saying right now?
You grew up a drunk pussy runner. So
whoa. Let's run through this now.
So you had a much different upbringing than I did in many ways.
Hang on now. The reason it was different was the technology. You're the motherfucker hanging around with Klondike Bill, eating parking lot panties, telling girls go run around the house 3 times before you come back in. That's not me. I'm a married man, Tony.
I said growing up.
And I married Ric Flair's daughter. You know, she's wholesome and pure.
There's always one thing you hit me with every show. Woo.
While you're trying to recover here,
How is that old motherfucker, by the way?
My wife is fine. Thank you. Why would you even address her like that? She's always been nice to you. Y'all got your own dialogue going about the Pelotons.
Her father.
How the fuck would I know? Call him and ask him.
He's in your family.
No, he's not.
That's how you would know.
No, he ain't in my family. Not for real. Ask my wife's dad, you see.
Okay.
Flair's been my buddy for, I don't even know how long. He's always going to be my buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, let's get our show back on track with our blue Christmas.
Okay.
Dave Meltzer's mom has passed away.
Oh, really?
91 years old. She lived a full life, but, he's been a big part of our show from day one. And unfortunately she passed away.
Sorry to hear that. Dave's meant a lot to this business.
Absolutely.
Good or bad, whatever position you want to take with him.
Good.
But that was a terrible whip into the corner. Holy shit.
Here's what our pal Dave had to say about, oh, by the way, everybody go out of your way to tweet a nice message to Dave about his mom. I know that sometimes we have listeners who take great issue and they want to believe everything Eric or Bruce say, and God bless you for it. I appreciate you listening and supporting our show, but man, come on. At Dave Meltzer, WON is his handle on Twitter. Hit him up. It's his mom.
Yeah. Don't try to, most people on Twitter are bad people, so don't try to talk to them.
Okay, well, I'm on Twitter. I'm just saying.
Most people, I said.
Some people online take wrestling too seriously. Me and you've talked about this before.
Oh yeah, they do. But
Dave Meltzer is a good man, and he's a good dad, and I'm sure he was a great son, and he's a hard worker. We all know that for sure.
Wow. Look at his stuff. No
matter what, God dang, losing your mom, that's a bad fucking day. I'm a mama's boy. I'm not going to deny that at all. Everybody should be. And I think Dave had a great relationship with his mom, and send him your well wishes. It'd be a nice thing to do today. And Norman Smiley finally ends this shit. Meltzer wrote, "This started the show killing segment. Tony Schiavone spent most of the match hyping the main event later in the show. I don't understand the psychology. Everyone watching has already paid their $30, and it isn't like they're going to flip to La Femme Nikita and miss the main events. Schiavone at this point said that Flair had suffered a mild heart attack. This coming 1 week after they declared, based on Flair running around, he must not have suffered a heart attack. At least he didn't try to say Cactus Jack still had amnesia. Loud, boring chants, and it was a bad match as they didn't work well together. You can't have a good match with Smiley unless you know mat wrestling. Fans did get into Smiley's dancing, but not his wrestling. They were out there way too long, and there was no build when Smiley finally got the chicken wing submission. Dud."
Yeah, I agree. Dud.
Here comes a big moment here. Let's track it.
Scott Hall, completely unannounced, has made his way into the arena here. And that brings them to their feet here in D.C. There you see the fans, many decked in the red and the black of the Wolfpack, many in the black and the white of NWO. What's the NWO Papa Pump?
He's the head man.
He's the man.
Now that Hollywood's retired, everything's Papa Pump.
He is certainly in charge, but be that as it may, here is Scott Hall. I have no idea what he's going to do. Obviously, I would think he's got something to tell us. That's usually been the norm with Scott Hall when he comes to the ring.
He talks about being a man without ring entrance music, without a group that he's associated with, without a family. All he has left is wrestling and some fan support as well.
And the T-shirt.
There's been no question he's been endearing himself to the Wolfpack, at least attempting to, over the past few months. I really think October 25th was his turning point. And Halloween Havoc.
Man's had a lot of problems.
Well, who hasn't?
Hey, yo. I think you got to agree with me that being in D.C. for the holidays is just too. And it's no secret that 1998 ain't been the best year of Scott Hall's life, in and out of the ring. And I got nobody to blame for that but myself. I lost everything I ever cared about. That's okay. Later on tonight, a guy I used to look at as my big brother, Kevin Nash, he's got the opportunity of a lifetime. We rode up and down the road together, and we used to talk about what it would be like to be the main man in wrestling. Well, Kev, you told me a while back that I had to prove myself to you. And a lot of people in buildings all around the country been telling me I got to prove something to them. I ain't the smartest guy in the world, but I ain't got to prove nothing to Kev. I ain't got to prove nothing to you. There's only one guy that I got to prove something to. And he's 6'6", more handsome than 10 movie stars. And his name is Scott Hall. So I can't wait to kiss 1998 goodbye, because I guarantee you that 1999 is my year.
Scott Hall with one of his.
What do you make of that? This is a pay-per-view, Tony. It's not Raw. It's not Nitro. It's not Thunder. It's not Saturday night.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to make of it.
It's weird.
Yeah, it was almost as if they just said, go out and talk. What did Dave Meltzer make of it?
He says, Hall did a total face interview talking about how 1998 wasn't his best year, but it was all his fault. When he brought up Nash, fans started cheering him. And up next, we've got Perry Saturn and Ernest Miller. It gets another dud rating.
That's all he said about it, huh?
Yep. You think there should be more to it?
I don't know. I mean, is he talking about his problems? Is he talking about an angle? I'm lost here.
You don't remember that Scott Hall had a bad 1998?
No.
Okay. Well, he did.
Personally, or
he drank a lot of alcohol, Tony. I didn't know that you weren't aware of that.
But he drank a lot of alcohol for many years.
And he got arrested, and his wife was threatening to leave him. And, you know, he had a lot of problems, Tony. I thought you would have been, you know, they got divorced in 98.
Okay. You know what? How many years ago was 1998?
Well, I mean, he just explained it. I didn't know, you know, he probably should have brought out the divorce decree.
Sometimes you don't know is out there if this is an angle or if this is somebody shooting on their live. You don't know. Okay. I didn't know. So when he comes out, I'm thinking, well, it's angle alert. Why wouldn't it be? Unless you're trying to dip into reality and make this about real.
Buddy, do you remember
what
the finish of this pay-per-view?
I don't remember much about it. No, I do not.
So Goldberg loses. Do you know how?
In this pay-per-view?
Yeah.
You just told me how he lost, right?
How?
He got tased.
By? Scott Hall.
Scott Hall tased him.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
This was your idea to do this show.
No, Starrcade 98?
Yeah.
Bull fucking shit.
I was ready to watch the Thunder and you wanted to watch this.
No,
I told
Stan,
you
what
don't you tag in stupid ass Stan.
Okay. Stupid ass Stan. My dog is bothering me here. Go downstairs. Go see mama.
Wait, Bug is bothering you?
Yeah. He wants to go downstairs and go to pee, but I can't let him.
Well, I mean, does he have pee pads?
Nope.
He goes outside.
Then to go peeing on I've told Lois, I said, please come get him. And she won't budge.
Oh, I thought we might see a run in from Lois here in a minute. Dude, how great would that be if we got a run in from Lois?
Oh boy. That's why she won't come in and get him. So as Ernest Miller comes to the ring, okay.
You're fixing to go put
Saturn.
You're going to take your dog to piss?
I'm going to run him downstairs.
This is what we're doing now. This is a professional outfit, boys and girls. I hope you're watching alongside us at adfreeshows.com.
I don't want him to piss on the Batcave floor.
No, I get it. So I'll just entertain everybody while you go take your fucking dog to the goddamn veterinarian and get his fucking shots. No problem.
No, that's not it. That's not it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make this,
I forgot taping the show snuck up on you. Don't you turn your fucking camera on. You turn your camera back on, Tony Schiavone. I want to see you walk and get that dog his shots.
My dog's got to piss.
Turn the camera back on, Tony. God damn it. We're depriving the fan. Let's track it.
You all love me.
Tony Schiavone don't love nothing, especially all of you, because he abandoned you, turned his camera off. That makes me wonder, was Tony not wearing pants this whole time? Comment below on adfreeshows.com. I bet Tony Schiavone was not wearing pants and he was a fucking TV weatherman. You know, where they look good from a certain level up, but then down below they're wearing like Air Jordans with their pinstripes or something. I bet that's what he was doing. Look at Perry Saturn here looking like Stan on Saturday night. Cannot believe he abandoned me here right in the middle of the match. We should also mention, I think we did already, this gets a dud. There's 2 duds in a row. So the first match, 4.5 stars. The second match, 3.5 stars. Norman Smiley and Prince Iaukea, dud. Perry Saturn and Ernest Miller, dud. Next up though, we get a Flair promo. And then be glad that pipe down, you son of a bitch. It's Brian Adams and Scott Norton taking on David Finlay and Jerry Flynn on Starrcade. It's a whole pay-per-view filled with Brian Adams and Scott Norton, David Finlay and Jerry Lynn on pay-per-view. Are you kidding?
Okay, there you go. Hey,
it's pretty unbelievable that was
what did
the
I
case. Miss?
And
we see Perry Saturn here. He just pulled off his interesting headdress. Oh, Sonny Ono's there. You know, he's Eric Bischoff's friend.
Hey,
I wonder what he's up to these days.
Hey, motherfucker.
Mickey J's our referee. Oh, Dave Pinzer. Let's track it here. Let's see what he says here. Let's see what the cat has to say.
As a friend, no commission.
Now, by law, I got to tell you this. Before I rip into you, I got to give you 5 seconds to leave. But if I turn back around, you still here, son, I'm gonna rip you apart with my bare hands. You hear me?
He doesn't give a darn at all, does he?
No.
Saturn could care less about his registered weapon.
Shut up!
His hands being ready, whatever.
You about to get out of here, man. Get on out of here.
You know, I just can't help but think, for this to be the marquee show of WCW, was there any chance that something like this would happen at a WrestleMania? I don't think so. It was
What's that?
The scheduling, the programming, just formatting of the show. Just go out there and have Cat ramble around a few words and let him be attacked. Sonny Ono here, looking like the guy who owned Curious George with that yellow suit. He's still got those white shades though. He must have those in common with Jay-Z. I think I think that's like the North Kakalaki starter kit. It comes with that and sandals that have socks attached to them.
How is Jay-Z doing, by the way?
I wonder what Ernest the Cat Miller's up to these days. You think he's still doing karate lessons? We should have one of our listeners take a look and see. Maybe they could go learn karate, and maybe some other CEO would want their kid to learn karate, and you know, we could see him on TV again. That'd be pretty cool.
Oh, you're ripping on Bischoff now, huh?
Oh, that was a nice little baseball
Hey,
slide.
I'm here. Hey, motherfucker.
Perry Saturn putting the boots to him.
I'm here. Here comes Bug again.
I'm sure a lot of our listeners are probably familiar with Something to Wrestle. And one of our early episodes, we talked about the Radicals making the jump from WCW to the WWF. And of all the talent that jumped, Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko, Eddie Guerrero, Bruce Pritchard thought the most upside was with Perry Saturn. And I found that pretty remarkable. I mean, don't get me wrong, great performer, but it just felt to me like Benoit had the most sort of swag, coming in as the former WCW champion. And obviously Eddie Guerrero was unbelievable, but I could see how you could think, well, maybe there's some demons there. Dean Malenko was the PWI #1 in 1997. So clearly a great mat wrestler, multiple generation wrestler, et cetera, but maybe not huge on charisma. But I guess maybe it was the look, maybe it was the crazy gimmick, but Bruce was all about Perry Saturn. And it is one of those what if type deals. He stiffed a couple of guys, and I think eventually had some injuries and maybe developed some dependencies. And he feels like he was always on the cusp of being an even bigger star than he was. And he had quite the run between ECW and WCW and the WWF.
Hey, can I say something here? Fuck Bruce Pritchard.
I like the old WCW.
It's not his. Hey, shut up. It's not his podcast. Bring me back in. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Hey, Conrad, what did I miss?
See, Mickey J making the count there. Mike Chioda has told us a lot on ad-free shows about how referees should handle themselves in the ring and how the wrestlers.
Is that with one or two hands? Because I only handle myself with one hand, not two. Because two wouldn't not do me any good.
It's like Ernest Miller saying he needs 3 there. I don't know if that's 3 count or 3 hands. Let's see. 1, 2. A lot of ringside photographers, which is kind of cool.
My dog had to piss. My dog had to piss. My dog had to piss. My dog had to piss.
Oh, okay. Rings of Saturn. Is this going to be it?
I didn't want him to piss on the floor.
Nice.
My dog had to pee. Okay. He had to pee. And my wife's asleep, apparently, because she's not answering me. I text her. I can text her from the phone here. Say, please, we're doing a podcast, so you need to come get Bug. I won't be done for another 2 hours. Please come get Bug. He hopped down, please. Nothing. What am I going to do? You have pee pads at your house, and you got 2 girl dogs, by the way. Just saying.
A lot of action here.
Hey,
it's a shame that we're getting a dud rating because these are 2 very capable performers. But I mean, you could say that about, the Big Wiggle too.
Yeah. There's many people that have gotten duds before and have been great performers, but gotten duds. I get it. I understand that. You still with me?
Oh, big sidekick there from Ernest Miller. Harry Saturn goes down like a ton of bricks.
Hey, why don't I do one of these podcasts from my Peloton? I'll just face the camera here with it, and I'll do it. I'll get on one of those programs. I'll just pump until. What do you think? You think it'd be a good idea?
Boys and girls, I'm doing right now what's called laying out. I'm letting the action speak for itself. I don't think this is as bad of a match as Meltzer does. I think Ernest Miller in 1998 should have at least been considered for the Luthez Ric Flair Wrestler of the Year award. He had it all. I'm sure when the voting came in, he took a look and said, somebody call my mama.
Oh, Christ. Oh, Christ.
Hey, Tony, did you see that, we got some interesting news?
No.
Well, it's less than ideal. Buckle up. It's more sad Christmas. Kevin Green passed away today.
The Kevin Green, football player from WCW days. And
yes, sir. He was 58 years old.
Holy my God, that's young. That's terrible. Was he coaching anywhere? I need to read about it. That's horrible news.
Did you hear that Charlie Pride passed away?
Did he really?
Yep.
Boy, Charlie, a little bit older than 58.
A little bit.
Yeah, he probably was in his 80s, wasn't
he? Yes. He was elderly.
Yeah. Are you reading anywhere how Kevin passed away?
They haven't released anything yet. I'm sure by the time this drops for everyone, maybe some of those details will be out there. But I'll be honest, I thought he would live forever. If Bischoff's booking didn't kill him, I didn't think anything could. I was wrong.
Wow. You give Bischoff some shit. Good for you.
He's my friend.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I want to go ahead and give you guys a heads up. Now's as good of a time as any as we see Sonny Ono about to do a spin kick. I hope Saturn doesn't move. I wouldn't even need it. Saturn better not move. I hope he doesn't accidentally kick the cat. It'd be a real shame. Oh, see why I got it done now. Oh, that was a real kick though.
That was a real kick.
We've got some bonus episodes coming up.
Yeah.
I haven't talked about this everywhere, but here it is, boys and girls. You're getting not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, not six, not seven, not eight, not nine, 10 bonus shows between now and Christmas. That's right. 10. 2 from 83 Weeks, 2 from Arn, 2 from What Happened When, 2 from Grill and JR, and 2 from Something to Wrestle. And they're dropping all between the 22nd and the 27th. 10 bonus episodes, some really great topics. We're breaking some formats. Shows that don't normally have guests are going to have some guests. We're going to do deep dives on hypotheticals and fantasy booking and superstars that we've never covered before. JR is going to have China and Shawn Michaels from 1997. Bruce Pritchard is going to let you ask him anything you want. And considering what we've seen lately, that should be interesting. Andre the Giant will also be a topic for Bruce. Arn Anderson is going to be joined by a very special guest I don't want to spill the beans on yet. And we're going to talk about his incredible run in the WWF for that 1 year, but boy, they accomplished a lot. And we've got some really, really fun stuff happening right here. I don't know that we want to spill the beans yet. Oh, here we go. Speaking of beans, here's the Nature Boy. That robe that we're looking at is owned by a private collector in Louisiana. Here's Mean Gene.
Here in Washington, D.C. says it all. You are the man.
Woo! My God! finally arrived. Woo!
Ric Flair, very quickly, I'm going to get to the meat of the matter. Earlier on, we got the news the other horsemen have been barred from the building. They had to restrain Steve Mongo McMichael. He was taken away by officials. And apparently you've agreed to all of the stipulations, including not having the horsemen here and the fact that Eric Bischoff could have the NWO black and white here.
Understand this. Bischoff today still runs WCW. He still calls the shots. I met with Arn. I met with Benoit. I met with Malenko. I told Mongo, it makes no difference. We're in the MCI Center. I don't care who's here. Bischoff gets his ass kicked tonight.
Simple. I think you've got a lot of people that would like to see that.
And me, Gene, when I say that we beat up Bischoff, I mean we beat up Bischoff piece by piece. We stomp his arm. We strangle his neck. We bite his fingers.
Wow.
We gouge his eyes.
Whoa.
We kick him in the, you know it. We put the figure 4 on him. We squeeze it until the bone goes, gish. I've seen it. I've heard it. I've felt it. And with a little luck, but by the grace of God, you, my friend, will find out what it means to be a jet flying, limousine riding, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, son of a gun, because tonight you're gonna bleed, you're gonna sweat,
Oh, yeah.
and you're gonna pay the price of wrestling tradition. Woo!
All right, the response of the Nature Boy Ric Flair. No horsemen in the building tonight. He and Eric Bischoff head on here tonight as part of Starrcade. On that subject,
That's an underrated robe.
Yeah, that was an over-the-top interview.
Yeah, shiny motherfucking robe though.
Yeah,
it was not his best work, but you know why? Because Bischoff's going to beat him. Can you imagine the balls on Eric Bischoff
to beat Flair?
You go back, not just beat him at Starrcade.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, no. Yeah, you're right.
It would be the equivalent of if Vince McMahon booked himself to wrestle Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania. Oh, wait. Boy, I tell you what, I can't wait till Tony Khan puts the wood to Chris Jericho. It's going to be something, isn't it?
Yeah, that ain't going to happen.
Hey, more sad news. Friend of the show, John Mulaney, one of the great comedians of our time, has checked into rehab.
Wow. That is sad news. I didn't know he was a friend of the show's.
He's like best of friends with, our man, Ron Funches.
Wow.
Just wanted you to know.
Any more sad news? I mean, boy, we are just ending on a downer.
Scotty Riggs lost a loved one. That's pretty bad.
Anything else?
Yeah. My longtime close personal friend, Frank White, who was my Fox 54 rep here. He was the voice of our local Fox affiliate, and he was my rep and sold me ads on that station for 12 years. Had him over to the house countless times. Used to go out to dinner with he and his wife. That we went to the same spots and wound up sharing several cocktails together. Put together a bunch of Super Bowl campaigns, et cetera, et cetera. Died unexpectedly. Rest in peace. But, 2020 wasn't all bad. You got to hug Sting. Am I right?
Yeah. I became friends with Britt Baker.
Yeah.
Ad-free shows hit the airwaves. A booming success. I got to reconnect with, not only Sting, with a lot of other friends that I hadn't reconnected with in quite a while. So yeah, it was good. And for me personally, we make a lot of fun and do a lot of crazy shit on the show and talk a lot of smack towards each other. But 2020 was a good year for me and the family, and no one got sick. at least as we're doing this.
Knock on wood, you son of a bitch.
Knock on wood. No one got the virus. No one was sick. I had my best year ever financially. Thanks to not only AEW, but thanks to you. So, and I'm going to be honest with you. I feel guilty about that sometimes.
What, that you had your best year ever?
Yeah.
Well, listen, you're donating some money. You're paying it forward. You're giving back.
Yeah, I am. But still, it's so many people had terrible years. And I look at my situation and think, what did I do to deserve this? And I don't know. It just makes me feel melancholy at times.
Well, listen, to cheer you up, why don't we watch Eric Bischoff beat the shit out of Ric Flair?
That's going to cheer me up.
Nah, but I know what will. Brian Adams and Scott Norton taking on David Finlay and Jerry Flynn.
Oh yeah, that'll be it, man. There you go. Comes down to talent each and every time. Comes down to your talent roster.
Oh, shout out to the Aldis family, the NWA World Champion Nick Aldis and his beautiful wife Mickie James from WWE. Purchased a lovely home, and I don't think I have to necessarily say where, but it's a very beautiful home, and they closed on it just in time for Christmas. So happy holidays to them and their new home just in time for the holiday.
Sounds like a First Family Mortgage thing to me.
Well, they did indeed use SaveWithConrad.com. Just saying. Well, the tweet just came through with their lovely home. Go follow Nick on Twitter if you want to see. He's got quite the spread there.
I'd also like to say congratulations to Cody and Brandy.
Oh my gosh, we buried the lead. Yeah. How did you not let me know that they were about to be 6-man champions?
I don't know. I mean, that's great news.
I was talking to Cody about it the other day and I congratulated him. And he said, you know what? I'm going to tell Schiavone that for a gift, I want that 6-man belt, but I'm going to give it right to you.
Well, I immediately thought a lot of people were thinking that if he has a boy and John and Renee have a boy, then they'll be the World Tag Team Champions in about 20 years, 25 years. So
just think, one of those kids will get to face Chris Jericho in a steel cage one day.
Yeah. You never know, do you?
Can I read you the funniest tweet I've read in 2020?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Now listen, can we agree there's been a lot of funny tweets this year?
I don't know. I don't read them. I read very few.
Well, buddy, you missed a great one.
Okay. Who's it from, by the way?
Chris Jericho.
Oh, okay.
Thanks to the @Domino's driver who came to deliver our pizza, ... and forgot the pizza. It's been 90 minutes. And when we called, they basically said, tough luck, terrible customer service, guys. # you had one job.
They forgot the pizza.
How is that possible? It is the best sentence ever. They forgot. So my pizza delivery driver came to deliver he forgot it. What?
God, when did he realize he didn't have it? When he was walking out of the car?
I don't know, dude, but I fucking howled with laughter and thought it was the funniest thing ever. Because here's the deal, as you've said, nobody nice is on Twitter.
Right.
One of the responses, maybe he didn't want to get COVID. Another guy, why the fuck would a rich guy like you order shit like Domino's? First of all, the idea, it's hilarious to me that a Domino's driver would drive to your house and come to the door. Hey man, how's it going? Good. All right. That'll be $19.25. All right, here you go. Okay. Thanks, man. Hey dude, where's my pizza? I fucking forgot that shit. Anyway, nice to meet you. It's like It's like a meet and greet in reverse. Normally to meet Chris Jericho, you have to pay. You have to stand in line. This way, you get to ring his doorbell. He gives you cash and you just leave with it. He pays you for the meet and greet. What the fuck is this?
Wow. Well, just a crazy year.
I howled with laughter at the thought coming to your house to deliver something and literally not bringing it.
And then they told him tough shit.
But then, and I get it, especially when you got your heart set on something, right? So think, oh man, so-and-so sounds good. Might do that later. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and order that. And you wait and you're thinking 30 minutes or so, I should be getting close. As you get closer to an hour, you're like, oh, any minute now. Then after 90 minutes, motherfucker shows up and he ain't got it. And then you call like, what the fuck? Thinking, okay, they'll come through for me. Nope. Tough shit. So you're like, man, and I get it. You're so frustrated and so pissed. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to send a fucking tweet. And then you think, all right, I'm going to get their attention. And just 9 million people just start fucking tagging and diving in. Like, the only way that day could have got any worse was to send a tweet. And then the next time you open your phone, you got 7,000 people trying to talk shit to you about Domino's. You're a wise man, Tony Schiavone. Stay the fuck off Twitter. I thought about you as I was riding through, Virginia.
Yeah.
They had these digital signs.
State of.
Well, I'm not going to go that far. Above the interstate, there's these digital signs. And like today it said, even Santa wears a seatbelt, buckle up. It's the law. That's kind of fucking lame, but a good message. But Lord, on my way there, when I first went through Virginia, the sign said, Cousin Eddie says, Twitter's full. Put your phone down. Instead of shitter's full, Twitter's full.
Yeah.
That's so good, dude.
That is good.
And I was like, you know what? That should be Tony Schiavone's new mantra. Cousin Eddie says, Twitter's full. Put your phone down. Cause that's how you feel about the Twitter machine.
Yeah. Because it's full of shit. It really is. But I did get a lot of good responses from our Sting thing that we've done. And I get many more nice tweets than I used to. So
what do you make of Bryan Adams' tights right here? They say for life on the side. You going to make a joke to that or should we just lay out of it?
I think we should lay out of it.
What about his tramp stamp tribal logo thing all over him? Where are you at on those?
What, tramp stamps?
Well, these are like weird little tribal designs just for the sake of being there.
To me, they mean nothing.
It looks like something that someone would sew on like a bag if they had a Harley. Like my buddy has the new Dodge Ram, and I'll give him this. The interior is pretty badass, especially like the new giant screen and all that. But the center console has like this really stupid little sewn in thing that looks like that. And it's like, what the fuck is this? I don't want to look down and have to think about that time I tagged the cashier that worked at the Walmart every time, you know? It's like a PTSD deal for me.
Sure. I got
mostly just the smell.
Right. So, this, to me, doesn't this kind of say it all about where the NWO went?
Yes. It's terrible.
Yeah. Look, Scott Norton, one of the great guys, badass, legit. Okay. But we didn't do anything to get him over. And
yeah, I'm so glad you said that. Real talk here. Yeah. Imagine Scott Norton with a mouthpiece like a Paul Heyman.
Mm-hmm.
He's over.
Yeah.
And he's a top singles guy.
Yeah.
Very believable, can do all the moves, looks intimidating, looks legit.
Yeah.
This is just a match for the sake of having a match.
That's all it is.
Bret Hart's not here. Sting's not here. Hulk Hogan's not here.
Yeah. We mentioned that last week about how many people were not here. And you've got your NWO representatives here are Adams, Norton, and Vincent.
Meltzer says real stiff Japanese style match, but nobody cared about any of the four in a cold match. Actually, people were resenting all four just for intruding on their show. And he's exactly right.
Yes, absolutely.
We should mention that even though this show critically was just terrible, you got 16,066 fans here. It's a sellout, a sellout. And you've got $584,236 at the gate, another $114,120 in merch. Meltzer says it's the largest gate for a WCW pay-per-view event in history, the fourth largest ever for the company. Now I want to clarify the distinction there. You guys ran some monster nitros at big domes like the Georgia Dome. So you beat it a few times for super shows like that, but weren't pay-per-view. But this is the largest gate for a pay-per-view, which is pretty remarkable.
And it is, but you think about this, it coming to see a WCW event kind of was like a cool thing to do, right?
Yeah.
So we were living off of our, NWO, Hollywood Hogan. Hogan wasn't there. Sting, the Crow. It was hip. It was a cool thing. We were making good, we were doing good things and we're living off that. But then again, it got kind of fucking old.
Right.
Like being in Atlanta, it's okay. Let's see, what's the cool things to do in Atlanta? Oh, we'll go see the Braves play. We'll go to the Falcons game maybe, or we'll try to go get seats to see the Georgia Bulldogs play. And then we'll go to a movie, or we'll go out and we'll do something else. We'll go to Top Golf or whatever. And those are the cool things to do in Atlanta. What a cool thing to do was come see WCW, but then again, it ran to ground, and that was that. And this ain't helping it, buddy.
Nope.
Yeah, man. Scott Norton was a badass, buddy.
Do you ever sit around the house sometimes and go,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Would you like pizza tonight? Don't order Domino's.
What's your, no shit, right? What's your go-to on pizza meats?
Oh, I like a cheese pizza.
Just plain ass cheese.
Plain ass cheese. Yeah.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me.
Why do you say that?
Well, I mean, listen, you're going to get,
I'll eat a pepperoni pizza.
That's
pretty good.
You're going to get upset with me again if I tell you.
No, I won't. I think it's kind of difficult to fuck up a pizza. I'll eat anything on a pizza.
Anything?
No, anything that basically that pizza places serve now.
Okay.
I can eat a sausage pizza. I can eat a ham pizza, a bacon pizza, a cheeseburger pizza.
What about a panini pizza?
No, they don't serve those.
Well, you don't know what I can line up. We got listeners to this show, this program.
What do you like on your pizza? You fucking knucklehead.
No, I was really shocked you weren't mad that I said that checks out, that you like cheese, because I made the analogy recently to you that you were like vanilla ice cream. If you were any flavor of ice cream, you'd be vanilla, and you were offended until I explained it.
Yeah.
But again, I think cheese pizza, that's Tony Schiavone all day, because while it might not be everyone's go-to, nobody's going to be mad at it.
Right.
What kind of pizza is it? Cheese. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. You're still going to eat it.
Yeah.
There would be other kinds of pizza that you might not eat. Like, for instance, you've just announced you wouldn't eat panini pizza.
No
panini pizza for you.
None. I don't think that would work. What's your favorite kind of pizza?
Pepperoni sausage.
That works. Okay. You like a veggie pizza? Have you ever tried that?
Yeah.
How about a pineapple and ham pizza?
Had it. Don't enjoy it. Don't prefer it.
Okay.
But, Morgan loves it.
Our buddy, my buddy, not your buddy.
Looks to say, I don't have many.
Okay. I know. My buddy, Dave LaGreca.
Yeah. Not my buddy.
Yeah. Spent about a whole month on his show talking nothing but about pizza.
Yeah.
On his wrestling show.
Checks out.
Talking about pizza.
We'd never do some shit like that.
No, the thing about you and I, when you tune into What Happened When, and we do a watch along, we do not ignore any matches at all.
No,
we talk about them
constantly.
We don't, go this way, talk about pizza, or this way,
or
and
witches being burned, or dominoes,
or taking dogs to pee. Don't do any of that stuff.
Nothing. Never.
Just see, we're focusing on the match, and that was a big fucking win because Scott Norton just pinned Jerry Lynn and didn't even stick around to have his hand raised.
I think you were way behind because I'm at 136, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
How did that happen?
Because you fucking paused when you went to piss. And they're stupid ass.
I just paused my video. I didn't pause my,
listen, I can't explain it. If you show up on time and do your goddamn job.
Tell me where you are now.
136, 32, 33, 34, 35.
Got it. Go ahead. Eric Bischoff.
What do you think Eric's saying here?
Okay. No, I want to track it.
Nope. You have to say it.
Oh, Jesus. Bischoff, you know as well as I do that next week, Conrad Thompson's going to grill you as no one to grill me. Mean Gene, let me say a few things. I've had a long and storied career in professional wrestling. As you know, I started out doing AWA stuff. And hey, how you guys doing? And also, Jim Herd brought me in to piss off Schiavone and Jim Ross. But I was the one that was smarter than Jim Herd because I took over the company. That's right, I did. And I made WCW what it was. Now, as you can tell, this day and age, that, hang on a second, I got something I got to say, that WCW is on a downturn. Doesn't matter to me because pretty soon they're going to send me home. But other than that, if you go into your DeLorean time machine, Doc Brown, and you go into the future, I am going to make bukus of money with a guy named Conrad Thompson talking shit to me. But I've fooled him every time because here's how I prevent him from talking shit to me. He'll ask me, hey, what is your favorite color? And I will take 30 minutes describing every color in the rainbow that should have been my color, that could have been my color, that was a favorite color of my wife's or my kids before it gets to the color that I want. That's right. You think this promo is going a long way? Tune in to 83 weeks. Some of my answers last 83 fucking weeks. But then I go back to the time machine and come back here to let you guys know that soon this company will be out of business. I'll try to buy it. But the Turner executives back then, Brad Siegel, makes me so mad I can't even mention his name, Brad Siegel, Jamie Kellner, you will fuck up a good thing. You will sell. Are you ready? You will sell a complete library of wrestling, WCW wrestling, for $3 million. Vince will make it back in one day. And then I'll go to work for Vince, and then I'll go to work for TNA, and then I'll go to Wyoming, and I'll have a great life. And then I'll start working with Conrad Thompson, because that, ladies and gentlemen, you love me, I know you do, is the way it is. Eric Bischoff for life. Woohoo! Woohoo! All right. Thank God by the time that all happens, I'll be dead. Speaking of dead, Heenan's dead too. And we'll be back with an announcer that's dead between the ears, Tony Schiavone.
That was terrible until the end, and then you pulled the nose up and totally redeemed yourself. Totally redeemed yourself. Tony, I can't help but wonder, do you have a favorite Christmas song? Oh, you know what? Let's track it here.
Starrcade, I'm going to show you who the real champion is. Sonny Jim, I'd like to thank you for helping me with my little demonstration.
Can someone drop a net on these three clowns and get them out of here? So I what?
That Jericho shirt right there was one of my first wrestling shirts back. I had an NWO shirt, I had an Austin 316 shirt, and that one. It's a good shirt.
WCW Monday Jericho.
This version of Jericho, this 98 version, is my favorite Jericho ever. By the way, that guy, he does not eat Domino's anymore.
You were asking me something before we went to that. I can't even remember.
Your favorite Christmas song.
Silver Bells.
I like Please Daddy, Don't Get Drunk This Christmas.
Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer is not a bad one.
My favorite part of this is Please Daddy, Don't Get Drunk This Christmas. I don't want to see my mama cry. Just last year when I was only 7, now I'm almost 8, as you can see. You came home 11:15 and fell down underneath her Christmas tree. Please, Daddy, don't get drunk this Christmas. I don't want to see Mama cry. Mama smiled and looked outside the window. She told me, son, you better go upstairs. Then you laughed and hollered, Merry Christmas. I turned around and saw my mama's tears. Please, Daddy, don't get drunk this Christmas. I don't want to see my mama cry.
That song perfectly fits the mood of this podcast today.
I was going to say, do you want to guess who sang it?
Let's see.
Don't Google it.
What?
Don't Google it.
I'm not Googling it. Look, my hand's free. I don't know who sang it.
David Flair. I mean, John Denver.
Oh, John Denver.
I thought I get
John Denver was pretty cool.
Thought I'd get a bigger laugh out of David Flair.
Huh. Okay. So we run out of shit to talk about.
No, we're talking about, Chris Jericho in a top knot.
Well, we probably should, have tracked him talking here, but can we pick it up here?
No, I want you to track it. What do you think he's saying right here about Domino's?
Time's out of there. Here's the deal. More than anybody on this show, I'm a bigger star, and I'm going to prove it because I'm going to be making more money than anybody else in 2020. I'll be making more money than Lee Marshall, who's coming up next. He's dead. Bobby Heenan, he's dead. Gene Okerlund, he's dead. WCW, he's dead. I'll be making more money than the Giant. I'll be making more money than Diamond Dep. Well, maybe not more than him. Take the microphone. Is that Stacy Keibler in the audience?
Yeah.
It looked like her.
It was.
It was?
Yeah, she's with her boyfriend. She's not working with y'all yet.
Wow. Man, she's even beautiful from afar.
Dude, unreal is what she is.
Mm-hmm.
I hate my brother-in-law so fucking much.
Yeah, he's...
Do you remember Pecker?
Who?
Do you remember Stacy Keibler on Pecker?
On Pecker?
Pecker.
No.
Well, she was in it in 1998.
I don't know what Pecker is.
She was all over Pecker, with, Christina Ricci and, Edward Furlong. It was a movie. It came out on September 25th, 1998. They spent $6 million on it and made 2.3.
It was called Pecker.
Yeah. And then in 99, she was in Liberty Heights. Then in 2001, she was in Bubble Boy.
Huh. I didn't know she was ever in a movie.
Wonder if David ever made any movies with her. I'll have to ask. Sometimes you don't see them coming until they actually fall out of my mouth, right?
That's right.
Then you're like, I should have known that was coming.
Yeah.
So this is Konnan and Chris Jericho for the TV title. They're going to go 7:27. Meltzer would say Jericho came out and did a total 70s Billy Graham, Austin Idol style promo. At this point, Tony Schiavone said he didn't think Flair had suffered a heart attack because the only person he'd heard it from was Bischoff, and Bischoff is a liar. You'd think in 2 weeks, Tony could get himself some good sources, but he's a fucking goof. Can you imagine if Mike Piazza collapsed in a baseball game 2 weeks earlier and the announcers would have absolutely no clue as to what his medical condition was? Geez, even in a TV soap opera, you could find out the next day. But does Schiavone care? Clearly not. This match was too short, but there were two really cool spots. One was Jericho doing a plancha. When Konnan moved, he took the bump right on the ring steps. The other was Jericho blocking Konnan's facebuster and turning it into a lion tamer. Konnan threw down the ref. Jericho hit him with the belt for a near fall. Konnan came back with a facebuster and a tequila sunrise for the submission. 2.25 stars. Pretty pointed words about your work here from Mr. Meltzer.
Yeah, it's all a fucking lie.
What do you mean?
He didn't say that, and you're a lie.
I just read it to you.
Yeah, I know.
Well, what are you saying he didn't say? Cause I just read it to you.
No, he's, I have no idea what he didn't say, but I know he didn't call me a fucking goof.
Oh, well, you might be right about that part. I mean, I don't know for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you've got like a burr up your ass today. What's going on with you? Is there something you need to talk to me about? Yeah.
No, I'm in the holiday mood, dude.
Oh yeah. Me too.
I can tell. Oh man. Haven't had my dinner.
Oh,
you haven't had yours.
You set the time for this.
No, you set the time.
No.
I can't record on Sunday. And then our Patreon's just like,
No. I'm not gonna let you get away with that.
Hold on.
I'm so far ahead with all my other shows, but you don't make yourself available because you're lazy and last minute Jones. That's the reality. I'm so far ahead on every other show. I don't have to tape another one until next year, but you act like because you got to go to downtown fucking Atlanta or up the street to Jacksonville twice a fucking month that you're working so goddamn hard. I fuck you and your fucking, I couldn't tape on Sunday.
No, that's not what I'm getting at.
Okay.
I agree with all you're saying.
I was ready to fight. You're like, okay, you're right. Everything, that's all right. But hang on, I got something. Just stay tuned.
There is a low key big hog who's been one of our biggest supporters ever.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's the most miserable motherfucker ever. And I thought I knew miserable motherfuckers. I thought I grew up in this, but there's nobody as bad as Adam DeMoy. Okay.
Okay.
And he's got the nicest wife. And I don't get it. I don't get this piece of shit having such a nice wife. Hey, what are you going to have? And how come I'm being with you on Patreon if you're not going to have it drop on time? And the only thing I can do is go on our Patreon channel and reply, "Fuck you, Adam." That's all I can do. You piece of shit.
So wait, now you're using our main feed now to shit on individual patrons.
Yes. No, only on Adam DeMoy.
I was going to say, this is a really fucking solid plan to grow the business. You got.
He doesn't care because he's a fucking goof.
Well, here's the deal. He's still getting it the same fucking day he normally would. It's just a little later in the day.
I know. So just bitch. Come up with something else.
Well, here's an idea. Why don't you just give him his fucking money back this month? This month's on us, Adam. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. This month is on us, Adam. Go fuck yourself.
I mean, is there not enough goddamn bonus content? I'm recording from the minute I wake up till I go to fucking bed. I drove 13 goddamn hours today, came home, farted into the couch for 20 minutes. And then Tony said, I'll be ready at 7. Of course, then he has to go whack off a legend. And then, I'm ready an hour later, still not eating. Fine.
It's all my fault, isn't it?
No, I just wanted to bust your balls and take the heat off of the guy who's paying to listen to the show that you're shitting on.
He was at our low key big hog event 2 years ago.
I remember him.
Yeah, I know. Everybody remembers him. It's like, who's that miserable motherfucker over there? So
it's a great strategy you have too.
Thank you.
Hey, he wrote something I don't like, but he gives me money every month. Fuck him anyway.
Okay. Oh, and earlier we shit on, Mike Kolb. We shit on him too.
No, you did.
So, yeah. Okay.
That fucking intro was something else though.
That was good.
It makes me wonder, was he high?
Who knows?
He had to be high doing that.
He's out of his mind, but he does do things on ad-free shows, by the way. He is one of our hosts.
By the way, I'm doing something pretty special over there real soon.
That's what I've heard. I'm pretty excited about that.
I'm getting fired up. I invited you to be a part of something, but I think you were unavailable that day.
Ooh, that hurt.
But you would have enjoyed it though. Hey, and I sent you a text with some ideas about these Geico bonus shows.
Yes, you did.
What do you think about some of those ideas without revealing anything?
Yeah, I like most of them.
2 of the 3 I thought you'd be into. The other one I'd have to sell a little bit.
Yeah. The last one you put on there.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna do things without getting paid. So.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm fine with that. I was wondering if I should do that with you or with somebody else that we shouldn't talk about.
Oh. I don't know. I like them all. Let's do them all.
Boy, is that the attitude you had in high school?
What was it? Good attitude. As a matter of fact, my attitude has always been I have the best attitude of anybody.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
You started this by talking about how everything sucks and you're depressed.
Well,
and you hate everybody.
You draw the bad things out of me. You do.
You know what I wonder actually.
What?
Do you think Jericho blames you for the Domino situation?
He might. If he talked with you, he'd end up blaming it by the time the phone call was over.
How great would it be instead of he was like, "Oh man, I forgot your pizza." And Jericho starts cutting a promo and he reaches behind his back and he's like, "But I did bring you this," and hands him that AEW title he lost at Longhorn that one time. I didn't always used to drive pizza. I used to run Wild West Shrimp. I used to be the Wild West Shrimp runner down at the Longhorn. Oh, there he is. He's tapping. He just tapped out on Domino's. Carry out only for Mr. Irvine. I need somebody to Photoshop that big list when he said, "I got more holes than Dean Malenko," and had that giant computer printout where all the sheets are connected. Here's all the reasons I'm not ordering Domino's. I don't even, what the fuck is a Cinesticks? Who's eating that?
Oh, by the way, Lee Marshall backstage, WCW.com, Chad, yummy, my left, talking to the Giant. So I was wondering, Giant, how big is it? What do you mean, how big is it? It's as big as I want it to be. No, I'm talking about the turd. Let me tell you something, you ballsy voiced Tony the Tiger looking motherfucker. Don't ever ask me how big it is again. It's as big as I want to be. It's a roll of baloney. You get it? A roll of baloney. I'm out of here. Hey, come back. Chad, yummy. Wants to talk to you. He's pretending he's typing on this computer. Let's go back to the ring. Loved Lee Marshall, man. He was so good natured.
No, start it again. He was what?
He was such a good guy.
No.
He was.
Lee Marshall was what? He's great.
Okay, great. Yeah, man, he made a lot of money doing that.
I'm wanting you to put him over for being Tony the Tiger, and you're thinking I'm wanting you to say he's dead. Well, this is how we're on different pages. If you and I were married right now, we would have to go to separate rooms and read about the different love languages and try to reconvene.
Oh God. You bring out the miserable shit in me. You do. You just,
yeah, it's all my fault. You were happy and I met you and ruined your life. Since you met me, life's been all downhill. Woo! Like that plane Ric Flair was in. Woo! They killed the pilot and 3 other wrestlers never wrestled again. And 6 months later, I was in Jacksonville collecting checks, ordering Pelotons, decked out in Tommy Bahama, you jackass.
Moisturizing my face twice a day. Twice a day.
There he is. Big pyro treatment.
Mm-hmm.
This is, I mean, based on the TV time it's been allowed, the co-main event behind Goldberg and Nash.
Yeah. You can tell he's losing, can't you? Walking to the ring.
Meltzer says, I don't know if you've heard about the plans for the uncensored match in March. They're going to put Hogan and Flair as one of the top matches, but Hogan isn't even going to bother to show up. So just before they say Flair is the winner of the match be a forfeit, it's Flair's cell phone ring and it's Hogan who tells him to lay down, and Flair does. So Hogan gets the win, even though he's 3,000 miles away. Bischoff wrestled in an NWO t-shirt, so we figured he wasn't in good shape. Flair beat him up early, basically again doing all these moves illegal in UFC until Flair was distracted and Bischoff kicked him in the head. At least Bischoff's offense is better than Miller's. More fans than you'd think cheered Bischoff beating up Flair, although still a minority. Flair juiced from the forehead from a kick to the back of the head. It must have been one powerful kick. Schiavone said that if anyone who follows the sport of karate knows the name of Eric Bischoff. Yeah. Like he was on the cover of Black Belt all those years nobody bought the magazine. Bischoff was pounding Flair from the mount when Flair broke free and hit him with a low blow. He then ripped off Bischoff's shirt. Big mistake. He was selling for someone who looks like that. Referees Charles Robinson went down. Flair gave Bischoff shattered dreams, although they sure didn't use that term to describe it. He gave him a back suplex, a vertical suplex, and a figure four. Kurt ran in and gave Bischoff the Guinness Book of World Records entry for largest set of brass knuckles, and he clocked Flair with it and pinned him 2 stars. I love that you said anyone familiar with the sport of karate knows the name.
Well,
Eric.
yeah. I mean, yeah, you oversell shit, dude.
No, I'm aware. I'm busting balls.
You can't pick apart everything I fucking said. Well, you can.
Bischoff,
If you're a fucking turd.
Why are you talking about Meltzer like that? His mother died.
Well, see, it was a turd comment. Turd fucking, or is it old school Flair stuff? Hit me up about this. Really? We were going to have Hogan call Flair and lay down?
No, it was a joke. He's being tongue in cheek about how Flair just lost to a non-wrestler, the boss of the promotion.
Got it. Okay.
On a major pay-per-view.
On the pay-per-view that he initiated, really.
Flair for the gold.
First one.
Why are they getting this gooch shot of Eric? We don't need to see the gooch. Only Lauren wants to see that. Did you know that Lauren is like low-key obsessed with Eric Bischoff? By the way, Lauren is one of our friends over at adfreeshows.com. If you're not familiar and listening to this.
Yeah. Oh, you mean Crazy Lauren?
I'm not talking, just saying that to you. I'm saying that to our audience who might not know. Who's Lauren? Lauren is, I guess almost like an admin. I mean, she's on all of our video stuff. I mean, she's super fan number 1 of Ad Free Shows. And she's a big part of what we do with all of our interactive events. Yeah. Anyway, she's low-key obsessed with Eric Bischoff.
Oh, I know that. She also drinks a 5th of liquor a night.
No, we're not talking about Lois.
No, I'm talking about her.
Why are you upset about? Well,
I'm not upset. I'm just.
Yeah. You got
adding information to Lauren.
You got heat with alcohol. That's the deal.
Yeah, kind of.
You're always talking about how, Flair's drunk. Oh, Lois is drunk by now. Oh, Lauren drinks a 5th of liquor a night. Oh, Conrad, if you didn't respond in 2 minutes, you must be drunk. I'm like, Tony, it's Tuesday at 9 a.m. Doesn't matter when you're independently wealthy, Conrad, you can get drunk. What is time to a man of your means? You just wake up and do what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Well, ask Jericho. Sometimes they don't even bring a goddamn Domino's.
Well, there you go. I have a problem with liquor. I do.
All right. Well, let's talk about your heat with liquor.
Okay. It's really deep rooted. I'd rather not.
Well, you brought it up.
No, I didn't want to go for any further. I do have a part of it is the fact that I can't drink.
I've seen you drink.
Yeah, but I'm not a good drunk. I the next day I'm sick all fucking day.
I know why.
I can't function, and I just don't like that. So I basically stay away from it. Not only that, I've got a high blood pressure, which is not good to drink high blood pressure.
You should alternate. Drink water. Yeah. You need more water. You'd feel okay the next day.
Yeah. And I came from a family.
Oh, here comes the shirt.
I came from a family, mom and dad, who drank a lot. So you'd think it would be passed down to me. I mean, they drank a lot. Nope. Wasn't passed down to me.
Wait, hang on. Why was Meltzer talking so much shit about Bischoff here? Oh man, what a bump from Charles Robinson.
Yes, sir.
I'm just saying, he's like, you're selling for a guy who looks like that. What's the problem there?
Yeah, he's just being piece of shit Dave, which he can be at times. A lot of times I just thought his thing was a gimmick. Sometimes he just wanted to heal on people.
Yeah, he is. He's trying to, I mean, let's remember it's an entertaining. It's for entertainment.
Right. And he was young and he was, a little bit chippier than he is now. So we all change with age. Believe you me, I know. So let's see. Shirt is off. Flair's bleeding. Charles is down on the big bump.
Yes, he is.
And Bischoff's selling the lower back. Flair's not done. Picks him up.
How about this move? That was a big standing suplex.
Oh, yeah. Figure 4.
Can you believe
That
there's
is
still over 40 minutes left in this match? I mean, not match, but show.
Yeah. For 2 matches.
Look at the crowd stand up and everybody's looking to the ramp like, well, somebody's coming in.
Sure.
They're conditioned for the ref bump. And there he is.
That's
Here
right.
comes Kurt. Track it.
It's Kurt Hennig.
It is Kurt Hennig. What? You're right. Kurt Hennig. He has handed Bischoff. So what has he got in his hand? Some sort of illegal object.
A big illegal object.
Yeah, whatever it is, just KO'd Flair.
Oh no.
This can't be.
This isn't going to happen.
Wait.
1, 2.
How about how massive that big, I love Eric's not thinking, and he's got it in his hand and Charles is going to raise that hand. Anyway, I love the big over dramatic sell for Flair when he gets punched. He like threw himself backwards and slammed both of his arms like he was taking a big flat back bump and hit it so hard. It's hilarious.
So there it is. Bischoff wins.
Yeah. Bischoff, Eric Bischoff. By the way, send him a hate tweet right now at E Bischoff. You booked yourself to beat Ric Flair at Starrcade and then put all caps. How dare you? Now, if enough people tweet that to him, he'll realize something's going on. All right, let's track it here.
Title on the line up against a cripple, then you go ahead. You give me a no disqualification match and you will feel the pain from me.
Oh, my aching groin.
The Giant's on his way. The biggest man in sports.
The Giant can do what he wants to here.
And he's doing it. Choke slam. Are they waking him up to give him another one?
Oh, look at that. Oh, my goodness. Oh. That's the super choke slam is what that is.
Page will give up.
Page is out. This is horrible. It's over.
Ring it, ring it.
There's your new U.S. champ.
This is a sad, sick man right there.
I am the best there is, the best there was, and the best that there ever will be.
You don't mess with me, you don't mess with Bret Hart, and you don't mess with the NWO.
Dallas Page has some real giant problems.
Here's the people's champion.
Out of nowhere, Page with a chair, looking for the Giant.
You may have knocked me out, but you sure as hell didn't put me out. Come on, Page. You want some giant scum? Come get.
I'm going to put the United States Heavyweight Championship on the line. Dallas Page, just come out here and you can have a shot at the United States Heavyweight Championship belt.
It was all a setup. An underhanded Bret Hart NWO. Good for nothing low-life setup.
Oh, no. See,
Gentlemen, look out.
he's dismantling the sack.
No man can take. Oh, God. Oh, my God.
He just choke slammed him right through the stage.
Tony, look at the smirk.
He's a jerk from day one. And a fight that's going to continue at Starrcade between Page and the Giant.
How weird is it? They're still running the. Here's how to order the pay-per-view. Well, we're already watching it.
That's just fucking lazy. That's all that is.
His contract, by the way, expired February 8th, 1999. That was his 27th birthday. And of course, as you all recall, he immediately signs with Vince McMahon and shows up at that St. Valentine's Day Massacre cage match between Mr. McMahon and Stone Cold Steve Austin. But this is one of the last times we'd see him on pay-per-view, and he's in a big match, and here he is taking on Diamond Dallas Page.
He's been a great performer, man.
Meltzer says Page really gave Giant a lot of offense before winning clean. Giant has regained that 30 pounds he had recently lost. So whatever discipline he'd gained by the thought of having to get in shape for Titan lasted about a week. There's going to be another ref bump here. So there's 3 matches in a row with big ref bumps. Of course, we saw one with Konnan and Jericho, and then we saw one with Flair and Charles there in the last one. I love this era of the Giant. I think 95 to 98 is probably my favorite.
Well, it was better than the Dungeon of Doom, right?
Well, he was in that for a bit, you know. I'm saying even in 95, he looked like a super athlete.
Oh yeah, man.
Like how do you mess with this, you know?
Right. And he could do a lot of things for a guy his size. He was amazing.
What's even more amazing is you guys have that and don't know what to do with it.
Yeah. Well, that's what you can say that about a lot of it, right? Steve Austin,
Mick Foley, Tony Schiavone, Lash
the
LaRue.
Giant. Who else?
Lash LaRue, Evan Courageous.
Yeah. Oh, watch out.
Oh, your mom. Forgot about that.
Yeah. Look at that. Mark Madden.
Why is Mark Madden not doing wrestling stuff?
I don't know. I think it's because he's probably,
because he healed on Tony.
Well, I'm sure that didn't help his matters, but the fact is that he's got a pretty good gig, doesn't he?
Oh,
but
he doesn't need it. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I liked it.
Back then he would do his show back then in the backstage area.
Right.
And I think that was probably, that had to be before. I know that was before Ethernet lines, I think. I don't know how he hooked in. Maybe hooked in via telephone. I don't know. I don't think I know they didn't put an ISDN line in for him because that's expensive just to put it in for one time.
What's the most you ever spent to put it in one time?
Oh, it took days.
Really?
Yeah. I called AT&T and they said,
oh, never mind. We're talking about something different.
I knew what you were talking about, but I was going to non-sell it.
Why are you a non-seller?
Ooh, shit. You got spat on. How long are they going to go here? How many minutes are they going to go?
Well, it's a big show match, so I'll let you guess.
Okay.
Guess.
It's going to be 8.
12:45.
Woo, really?
That's what I said.
See, a big guy like that can take a bump. That's pretty damn good.
It is, but it's a big deal.
Yeah.
So what's your next big goal, Tony?
My next big goal?
Yeah.
Get my knee healed, get back on the Peloton. Get on the Peloton. That's my next big goal. Not much of a goal, is it? Shows you how much.
Give us some more goals for 2021.
Get more involved in AEW.
More involved?
Mm-hmm.
How could you be more involved?
Oh, there's a lot in a which is still very much a startup company.
Of course.
There are just so many things you can do and so many things you can be a part of that it goes back to this. Sometimes you are so involved with what you're doing that you don't stop and take a step back and say, what else can we do?
We're working in the business instead of working on the business.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I've got some ideas that I want to do with AEW that I hope will continue to make me a valuable part of the company. I don't just like going there and announcing. I like going there and announcing. I don't like just going there and announcing.
Well, you do 38 pre-tapes and you watch Brandy pour water on Shaq.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you do a lot of stuff there.
Well, yeah, I do, but it's still just announcing.
You want to do like the accounting or whatever?
Yeah.
Ticket taker, set up chairs.
Yeah.
Seriously, what other duties would you like for Tony to carve off for you?
You're
going to book buildings? That's kind of easy right now.
No, we got the best building booker out there.
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Is whose job are you trying to take?
I'm not trying to take anybody's job. I'm trying to create opportunities.
Does Taz need to dust off his resume? Are you going to run Team Taz? Are they going to call it Team Tony now?
No.
Dude, if you show up to TV, now hear me out before you shit on this. If you show up to TV and you have track jackets, you just give them to a bunch of the guys and they're black and orange and they say Team Tony.
Oh my
How
God.
long until he finds you and tries to have a private conversation?
No, he wouldn't try. There wouldn't be a private conversation. He'd choke me out in front of everybody.
Just because you wore a jacket that had orange on it?
Mm-hmm. Called it Team Tony.
Yeah. Well, you could say, well, it's not for me. It's for TK. Trying to put him over. That's my new way of saying over too.
I know.
I like it.
Oh, I'd like to say, once again, I've said this before.
I'm a lie. We know.
I know, but I've said this before on many occasions, not on many occasions, but on a previous show, that the other night, on a couple of weeks ago on Dynamite, I said, told Don Callis, go to hell, kiss my ass.
Yep.
And before I could even get backstage, there was a shirt available. Jeff Jones said, do you see this? I said, yeah. What else is new?
Well,
I almost said, God, I hate this virus. And they would have said COVID. I said, no, Cyrus. But I didn't, because it probably been politically incorrect, because people would say, well, there's people dying from the virus and you're making fun of it. So I didn't say that.
I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah, that would have been the wrong thing to do.
You'd have had to send a tweet out blaming Domino's. And we would have hit you with you had one job.
But I like what Don is doing. I think Don always was a talented guy, and
you like that he's taking over your company, Tony?
No, he's not taking over my company.
He's taking it over, buddy. Are you not watching the program? He controls the world title.
No, he doesn't.
By the way, anyway, I did enjoy your public access commercials with Tony Khan, where you guys just actively shit on access.
Yeah. And get away with it.
Oh, what the fuck?
No. It's like, oh, this is tremendous. Yeah, just anyway, having fun. Didn't think I'd have fun.
What's Lois think of that angle with Kenny Omega?
Oh, Lois doesn't even know who Kenny Omega is. But Laurie Schiavone -Engel, who, as you know, works on our Patreon.
I love you raised a hyphenator.
That's right.
That's a shirt. We need to take Laurie's face and have half of Laurie's face and the other half be like one of those Terminator robots.
Yeah.
Put underneath the hyphenator.
Anyway.
You telling me she wouldn't wear that around the house?
She would.
Whenever
she loves Kenny Omega.
Well, that makes one of us.
She does. She told me, she said, I don't care if he is a bad guy now. I love him. Okay.
Well, he's a bad guy, Lori. Watch the fucking program. Trying to take over the promotion. They're probably campaigning to get Josh Matthews to take your dad's job. Gotta watch out for guys like that. Did you just laugh out loud?
Yeah.
You know, Josh Matthews has been calling wrestling longer than you.
Yeah. Good for him.
You know, he's a big radio star.
Good for him.
You know, he's a fashionista.
I don't know anything about him.
Well, then why are you laughing at him?
Because I don't know anything about him.
So you just laugh at people when you don't know anything about them?
Yeah. Yes. I did get to finally meet him, but I didn't know anything about
Why does that fucking tickle me?
What?
I don't know why that fucking tickled me.
What's your wife fixing for dinner tonight?
Buddy, that went out the window. We're going to finish this show after 11 p.m. Eastern. And you think my wife's still in there cooking? My wife's been asleep now. She was thinking we were going to get to hang out. She thought we'd be done and we'd have a normal night. And no, it sting. You had to relive the hug.
I only delayed you like 30 minutes.
Well, that was all we needed. I don't know if you know about me, but I get shit done.
I know about you. I don't know. We've been doing over 200 episodes. I don't know if you know about me. Well, I do. Oh God. You know what? I love a bear hug, buddy. Great move.
Hey, Lois isn't going to listen to this, right?
No, but one of her stooges could tell her about it, but go ahead.
What'd you get her for Christmas?
Oh, I've already gotten her a Christmas present. She knows what it is.
Well, I'm asking, motherfucker. I didn't say, does she know? I want to know. What's she getting?
I got her 2 sewing machines.
2?
Yeah.
What's she going to use one at a time? What the fuck she need 2 for?
One's a sewing machine. One's called a serger.
Is one of those an embroiderer machine?
Yeah, they can embroider.
There you go. Well, that's what I need.
Yeah.
I need some shit embroidered.
Yeah. Did you get the ornaments?
I didn't get shit. Have you gotten your present from me yet?
No.
Well,
Lois made ornaments and sent you WHW ornaments.
I didn't get one. But
Silver got his. I
believe you. Here's the deal. Mine may have went to the office and I hadn't been there. I've been out of the country, out of the state. I ordered you something pretty cool.
Oh, I bet you did. I
came up with the idea this summer and Megan was like, that's fucking awesome. So she took care of it and we confirmed it, and I'm disappointed it's not there yet, but you're going to get a kick out of it.
Okay.
I got a PS5 and I got it online, like the day before Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving. It just got here today.
Wow.
Took almost a month.
And what are you gonna do with that?
Bruce Pritchard mailed me a check on the 21st. It got here on the 18th. So I'm just saying, shipping right now sucks a dick.
What are you doing with the PS5? You don't play PlayStation.
No, I hooked it up to my little home theater. You know, David Flair's son comes over and hangs, and Silva's kids come over and hang, and Shuli's kids come over and hang. So I got kids all the time. So I got one of those new Xboxes and the new PlayStations, and they're both hooked up in the theater downstairs.
Very cool.
So the kids
we just have another rep bump.
Yeah, I mentioned that there'd be 3 in a row here.
Jesus.
It's overbooked, convoluted horseshit. And here it is, another run in.
but it turned against him. Maybe not.
Think about all the good appearances that Bret Hart had for WrestleMania, right?
Yeah.
Now let's compare and contrast that with his Starrcade appearances.
Yeah.
Terrible referee spot for Sting Hogan. Not even referee spot. I'm not letting this injustice stand. That bullshit at 97.
Yeah.
What you just saw here for 98.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 99, they put him in the ring with Goldberg.
Mm.
And his career was over shortly thereafter.
Wow.
Starrcade was just cursed. In fact, all of WCW was for Bret Hart.
Yeah, it was. It was not a good run. Again, just like everything else, we didn't know how to use him. Oh.
No.
Right in front of the referee.
Here's what's a shame to me. Meltzer said he beat him clean. No, Bret Hart just hit him in the head with a chair.
Yeah.
There was a ref bump, and then he kicked him in the ball meats.
Mm-hmm.
And he no-sold it with his giant dick, and bam. Track it.
1, 2, infinity! Yes.
The finish was fucking solid though, wasn't it?
Mm.
The week before they showed the top rope choke slam to sort of show you what this could be. He tries for it again. Wham.
Okay. Great shit, man. Have we done Starrcade 99 or is it in the archives?
It's real bad.
Let's not do it. Let's make a pact that next year at this time, let's not do it. Well, we're doing 86 next year anyway. So we'll be doing Night of the Skywalkers.
It was episode 47. We already did it.
Yeah. I had a feeling we did.
Almost 3 years ago now. How have we been doing this show this long?
I don't know. Coming up on our
4 years
season. Yeah. Our 5th season, starting our 5th season pretty soon.
Time flies, bud.
It does, man.
Wait till you get my age.
I shot on past that long.
By the way, let me tell you some news and notes.
I love news and notes. Well, it's time for news and notes on what happened when. And now here's Conrad.
Kidman's contract was coming due early at the time this newsletter came out. It also says Benoit, Malenko, and Eddie Guerrero have not signed 3-year contract extensions, but have all basically agreed to terms. The deals are for $1.35 million in total over 3 years. I believe it's broken down 400, 450, and 500, although I haven't been told that specifically. At one time or another, all three were at real odds with the company and wanted to leave, and it was considered almost a sure thing they would leave. The money is the main reason they're staying. The WWF attempts to sell that the sky is the limit on salary, but that didn't work in these negotiations because the word is out that even in this fantastic business year, the WWF wrestlers, aside from the very top guys, aren't making all that much more than their downside guarantees. The WWF expressed interest in all three and still has interest in all of them, but Benoit more than the other two. The WCW deal guarantees the weekly paycheck at the same level as usual, even in the event of injuries, which has to be taken strongly into account because of the style all three use. The feeling is also that Bischoff will have to justify these deals and push them more than ever. Benoit was told that he was going to get to work a program with Bret Hart, and that should benefit both guys a lot. More than anything else, the WWF never made any competitive offers, although due to tampering laws, they were very limited in what they could say. None believed the WWF would match their WCW offers. Rey Mysterio was also in the same boat in regard to having not signed, but basically expected to do so shortly, although he's being offered significantly less, which to me in hindsight is crazy talk. That you would offer him significantly less than Dean Malenko? And I love Dean Malenko's work. I'm just saying you could sell masks and shit, right? Like,
oh yeah,
Mysterio looks like a little superhero for kids.
Yeah. Action figure type guy. Absolutely.
So
a lot of bad decisions were made. I mean, obviously. And I don't think, I mean, Eric's got to be responsible because ultimately responsible because he was the boss, but there was a lot of bad decisions made underneath him that he allowed to happen. And I just seem to think that a lot of this had to do with the fact that he was so much in the creative process that he just didn't watch everything. And there's a cautionary tale there. And here's the cautionary tale. Eric Bischoff, Vince Russo, Dixie Carter, don't become a character. Be the boss. Because you'll get all tied up in your match and what you're going to do. Does Eric talk about that? That maybe he shouldn't have been on TV? I mean, you and I have agreed that he is probably one of the best heels ever. He is. We get that, and I understand it. But as the boss of the company, Vince got away with it because he had such a great underneath him, a great machine underneath him. We did not. I mean, we had Sharon Sadello blowing up a boat with Sting and Davey Boy Smith. Now, I know that was years before, but still, I think you understand.
Hey, I just read something awesome. Same newsletter where Dave is reporting on this. Okay.
Yep.
So the newsletter is dated January 4th, but it would have come out like a week before that. Meltzer wrote, the expectation seems to be that Nash will give the belt to Hogan at the Georgia Dome. The idea looks to go back to what put WCW in this position in 96. And that is a strong WCW led by the Horsemen versus a strong NWO, which at this point appears to be Hogan, Nash, Hall, Steiner, and Luger. But he called it well before it ever happened. He's just going to give him the belt. What the fuck? We should also mention, I guess, this is around the same time, if you recall, where NBC had booked a deal with WCW. And it was major headline news, but of course Turner shut that down.
Yeah. Has Eric talked in length about that?
Yes. Oh man. One of the Geico bonus shows you'll want to hear. We did it with Eric Bischoff and we talked about, it was just me and Eric in my house here. And we sort of fantasy booked what the promotion would have looked like had he gotten control of WCW. So if he did get the funding, which he did, but he kept the time on Turner, Kellner didn't cancel. Look at this, stopping in the back to sign the Goldberg shirt. Anyway, what went up to that, like all the news and notes, how he raised the money, all that stuff, where the shows were going to be running from, what the ideas were creatively, what the roster was going to look like, who was going to be on commentary, what the shows would have been called. Cause he had 2 shows, of course, if he got this WCW deal, and you came up. That's pretty good stuff.
I came up.
Yeah. Because he said that you wouldn't be the voice of Nitro, and I pressed him on who would. And he said,
Josh Matthews.
No, I love you for that. Roll credits right now. We won't beat that.
Okay.
But he said, hey, I wouldn't have wanted to do it without Tony. Tony was super valuable, beyond just commentary, but I would have had 2 shows. So I would have made him the voice of the other show. And I said, well, it's funny you say that because Tony and I just recently discussed the fact that he used to be the voice of Nitro and Thunder and Saturday Night and still did syndicated shows. So if you combine all that and the pay-per-view, you might hear from Tony 5 times in a week.
Which was too much.
It was too much. And so he said, well, no, I'd put him on the other show. And I said, okay, who would his commentator be? I'm not going to tell you who he said, you got to listen. But I was like, and he's like, yeah, that guy even called me. And I floated the idea and it was like, oh fuck, I wish that would have happened. Here he is though, boys and girls. the top draw in WCW at this point, and it ain't close, undefeated. The streak is real. The man, Bill Goldberg. Of course, he won the title back in July at the Georgia Dome. And by that point, he was already well over 100-0. And tonight, not only is the streak on the line, so is the big gold belt. Famous story that came out in books and shoot interviews well after this event, that in this era, you and Mike Tenay and Bobby Heenan would all travel to and from the hotel together. And before you went out for your broadcast, you'd have your bag packed and ready to go. Right. So the very moment the show was over, you could tear off the headsets, run backstage, maybe pee, grab your bag, throw it in the back of the car that was already backstage, and scoot out of there to try to beat the traffic and not get stuck.
Right.
Which is really, really smart. But supposedly on that ride back, Bobby said, "We just killed the golden goose." And it's been written that Tenay was intrigued by what he said, but you sort of dismissed it. Like, oh, maybe thinking he was just being negative.
Right.
Do you remember that at all?
Yeah. I don't remember him saying we killed the golden goose, but I remember him being thinking it was the wrong thing to do.
Right.
And I remember thinking, we'll pull out of it. There's something. Back at this time, I was pretty confident that we could, if we made a mistake, that we could make up for it.
Right.
Everybody thought it was a mistake, but I was not as negative about it as Heenan. So, oh, by the way, we used to never grab our bags. Our bags were already packed.
And in the car?
In the back of the car.
So all you had to do was pee and run to the car.
That's it.
And I know people are laughing when I keep saying pee, but you got to appreciate a lot of the time you would have been out there for 4 hours before you ever got without any bathroom breaks. So it's just a function of reality. You got to pee.
Yeah. So, and sometimes we didn't pee, especially we had a short ride to the hotel. Now, if we had to go to the next town, cause when we did, one time we were doing Nitro and Thunder the next day, I believe that happened for a little while. We'd pee and then we hop in the car and drive. So
did Tenay ever make you go to any like rough areas to buy drugs?
No, why would he?
Really?
What type of dumbass question is that?
Well, I just, I don't know what he's into. I'm just asking questions.
Okay, let me ask you something.
Oh, I just wonder if the shit was going to go down. Like if a drug deal went bad and you guys now had this physicality, we know that Bobby Heenan, being the old wrestler, he's going to go for the eye. That's the old wrestler deal, right? You go for the eye.
Right.
And Bobby, being an old school guy and a street guy, he's going to go for the eye. We know that. But I wonder, like, would Mike Tenay like try to pull out some sort of, La Mahi straw cradle or something? Dragon Tazplex, or he'd be doing something.
Tope Suicida.
Well, thank you. I'll set him up. You knock him down. Anyway, you were going to ask me something, but I had to get that.
I can't even remember now. Oh, well, I was looking at I'm trying to figure out the roster here and who is not on this show. We have said many times, Hogan's not on the show. Sting's not on the show.
Yeah.
Bret Hart's not wrestling on the show.
Yeah.
Was Piper on the roster at this time?
That's a great question.
Were the Steiners on the roster at this time? I'm trying to figure out who we left off the freaking show. I mean, okay. We don't need the Steiners. We don't need Piper. We've got
Jerry Flynn.
Yeah, exactly. Geez, I don't know. Just weird.
But yes, the Steiner brothers were on the squad.
Okay.
Booker T's on the team.
Okay.
Lex Luger's on the team. Roddy Piper's technically here. Buff Bagwell's on the team.
Oh, well, you can stop there.
Randy Savage is on the team.
Oh my God.
If you think that's bad, they didn't even use El Dandy here.
Oh. Or Silver King.
I feel like you just glossed over El Dandy. Who the fuck are you to doubt El Dandy?
May Silver King rest in peace.
Man, he was the man.
He was pretty cool.
Yeah, he was.
Okay, so Goldberg's laying him in here because that's all he knows.
Right. Yeah, nobody's ever smartened him up.
No. Man.
It's like the old there's a famous story in wrestling. Maybe it was Lawler. But he was working with somebody, and maybe somebody was working with him. I forget. But they said, hey man, in the middle of a match, hey man, I want you to rear back and hit me as hard as you can in the face. What? Yeah, just hit me as hard as you can in the face. Why? Because your working punch is fucking killing me.
I've heard that story.
It's so good. Let's try that. Just try to hit me as hard as you can. Let's just try it.
Watch out. Here we go. Oh, man.
I think Kevin Nash sold that singlet he's wearing right there on eBay a few years ago. You surprised Goldberg's still making millions of dollars to wrestle a handful of times a year?
No, I'm not.
It's kind of awesome, isn't it?
Yeah. More power to him, buddy. Wrestle and make money off it until you can.
When was the last time you watched this match? Do you remember?
No, I think the last time I watched the match when it happened.
Let's track a little bit of it here.
All right.
You do whatever it takes to stay in the match, and that's what Nash just did. In, Goldberg up, hook, and
By the way, did you see the way he hooked that leg?
Mm-hmm.
It looked to me like he was pissed that Goldberg didn't try to get up for him. Because his weight was there, and Nash had to like second muscle him up, where he was like, "Motherfucker, help me out."
Yeah, right.
But here's the
you're
thing:
right.
I don't even think that's necessarily Goldberg's fault. And I realize people are going to think I'm getting soft on Goldberg, but the reality is, they taught him like 5 things and said go,
right?
And it worked. I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying he didn't break into the business, so to speak, the way everybody else did. Looking at the lights every night and learning how to work the hard way. He was right away. Hey man, go hit this guy fucking full blast and cover him. And it worked. So it's not his fault, but God almighty. By the way, this is also something that gets glossed over because we all, and I'm guilty of this, we all focus on how terrible the creative was to take the belt off of him. But most of us agree that eventually you have to lose. I mean, that's what you're trying to do with wrestling or it gets boring. But much like a Tyson fight, this had a big fight feel. But look at the fans. No one's blinking. Everyone's paying attention, but they're not as into it because this match has gone way too long for a Goldberg match.
Right.
They're expecting, to use a boxing term, first round knockouts with this. One guy's going to hit a jackhammer, a spear and a jackhammer, or one guy's going to hit a jackknife. But it's coming. And I thought they used Goldberg brilliantly when they brought him back for WWE. When he was against Lesnar, the bell rang, he spears him, jackhammers him, done. Yes, it caught a lot of people off guard, and yes, that's why it worked. because nobody could see it coming. This is Brock Lesnar, who would just suplex John Cena 38 times at SummerSlam. So you're just expecting Brock's just going to manhandle him. He's older, blah, blah, blah. Nope. Spear, jackhammer. And I think if this match was a little shorter, in addition to the finish being different, it would have been received differently. But the hype when these guys were staring at each other, everyone was standing. Everyone's like, we're fixing to see some shit here.
Yeah.
Goldberg was believable. And so was Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash had, as beautiful as his hair may be, street cred. Hey man, that guy can whoop your ass.
Right.
And people really believed that with Goldberg too. So it was very believable just based on what they knew of the guys and the sheer size of the guys. Interesting way that Goldberg's hooking the leg too. You seen this?
Yeah.
Not the far leg, but the near leg.
The near leg. Yeah. I noticed that previously. You know, there's something to be said for in a great storyline, Goldberg being this guy who ran over top everybody.
Oh yeah.
But okay, he fights a guy like Kevin Nash, who's really tough. And now we see Goldberg sell from underneath. And all of a sudden you realize, wow, not only is he a powerhouse, but he's got great cardiovascular training. He's got a great heart, great determination as well.
Right.
And if Goldberg goes over, you know, it probably would have worked. But now the fans are standing to expect, they don't know what to expect here, because certainly Goldberg can't lose. There it is.
Can you believe it? Let's track it. Listen to the crowd. Watch the crowd. Watch the people, Tony.
Oh, you could hear it clicking. It was like a cattle prod or a stun gun. Kevin Nash never saw that. And he jabbed it in the midsection of Goldberg.
Oh, no.
Wait a minute. He jackknife powerbomb. Could this be it? 1, 2, 3. The streak is over. And we have a new world champion.
The streak is over. We're 73-1 and a new world champion. Kevin Nash is crowned world heavyweight champion.
It was unbelievably Scott Hall with a cattle prod deep into the chest, in the center of the chest of Goldberg, that kept him down.
And Nash never saw Scott Hall here.
No, he did not. We have a new heavyweight champion of the world. Kevin Nash has won it.
What is Nitro going to be like tomorrow?
I don't know, but it's quite a night for the NWO Red and Black. Let the Wolfpack celebration begin.
I imagine that Konnan and Luger in the back icing down the bubbly.
Look at this.
But they're not out here.
Look at it. It's a look of shock on Nash's face, and Goldberg cannot even stand, although he tries his best to get out of the ring. Look at, oh no,
Still feeling the after effects.
he needs some medical attention to hurry. Here it is again.
Now you see Goldberg, he's ready. Oh, look at Hall, sticks that taser right in there around the heart area, around the lung, and does it again. He must have had it on him for 4 or 5 seconds.
He had a security shirt on, and there is the culprit.
That can stop a charging bull, they say. And it did. And then Nash took opportunity of the situation. I don't think he knows what happened, that Hall was even out there. Big power bomb. And after being electrocuted with whatever voltage is in that stick, there's your winner and new heavyweight champion of the world, the man that stopped the streak of Goldberg, Big Sexy, the heavyweight champion of the world, Kevin Nash.
Unbelievable ending to quite a night. We have witnessed professional wrestling history.
Lot to unpack here, Tony. I know usually when the show ends, we're gonna end it right there, but I think this is so important. We should talk a little bit more about what we're seeing. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
You watched it back for the first time in a long time. What'd you think?
I think it was the wrong thing to do. But still, I look at this as it's happening, thinking there's still something we can do coming out of it if we handle it the right way.
Right.
Obviously we didn't.
I'm interested to hear, first of all, I guess we should address the elephant in the room, the shock stick.
Yeah.
As we show replays, we show Scott Hall in his security shirt in slow motion, showing the shock stick to the camera. And you can plainly see it's gimmicked. It's got black electrical tape on the end.
Right.
That's fucking stupid. Don't get me wrong. I understand why they would want to gimmick it, but then we can't show it in slow motion where idiot marks like me can fucking freeze frame it and be like, wait a goddamn minute.
Right.
Now I understand it's not real. I get it. We're not really electrocuting people. I also wanted to mention, I don't know that you know this, but the original idea, and Goldberg wanted to do it, was to shoot him with a real taser like the police use that shoots like it's shaped like a gun and it shoots the hooks and actually electrocute him for real. And then do the move, then do the jackknife. But of course that got shut down.
Well, then, but Kevin Nash would have known.
Right. I guess
he had been tased. Yeah.
Chat me up though. Was Kevin Nash the right guy to do it? Let's forget the finish and how screwy it was. A lot of people argue Kevin Nash wasn't the guy. I gave an alternate reality where we would have ended it 2 months earlier at Halloween Havoc. But when you see that crowd pop, and even just now, seeing the crowd, hearing the crowd, seeing the signs, I got goosebumps. It was a big moment. It felt like a big moment. And of course it was.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to say Kevin Nash wasn't the guy. Do you think there was a better candidate for him to drop the streak to than Kevin Nash?
No, not at all.
I mean, the reaction from the fans shows you it was the right call, I think.
Sure. Yeah. And again, because as you said, when it started, it felt like a big time heavyweight fight. Kevin, by his sheer size and because he was one of the founding members, so to speak, of the NWO and was a big star, was the right man.
Are you surprised that when the streak finally ended, it wasn't Goldberg returning the favor to Hulk Hogan? Before you answer, I want to say there's been a narrative out there for a long time that if Hogan loses a match to you, he's got to get his win back. Yeah. And we parroted that, and we've even joked about it. And Eric Bischoff all but confirmed that's what the Warrior booking was about. We wanted to get Hogan his win back.
Yeah.
And supposedly he tried to bring him Yokozuna to WCW because he wanted to get his win back. He does the honors for Goldberg, never gets his win back. Is that odd to you?
Yeah. If the way you lay it out like that, yes, it is.
Do you think, were you thinking at the time when Hogan dropped the belt to him, well, ... Hogan's going to get the win and the title back eventually?
No question.
But it doesn't happen. Instead, it goes to Kevin Nash. And ultimately we know in 2 weeks or 8 days or whatever it is, it's going to Hulk Hogan. But it's just hard to imagine to me that he never got the win back. Okay. So now that we've unpacked the Hogan thing and we talked about Kevin Nash maybe being the guy, is there another way you could have done this match with a different finish, without the shock stick, without all the interference? What would you have done that made sense, that kept you going?
Well, I go back to the fact that, and I think you brought this up earlier, that he would have done something to hurt himself, like posted himself, missed, knocked himself out on the post, or something to where he was so aggressive that he caused his own self to lose. That would have been the only way you could have done it and gotten the win from it. Guy moves, hits the ring post, knocks himself out. I don't know, something to that effect. Goes for the jackhammer or whatever, and he moves and he goes speared, or goes for the spear, moves, and he falls on the floor head first or something like that. That's the only thing I could think, or, was Nash was a baby face at this time, wasn't he?
Well, he's part of the Wolf Pack and they were kind of like cool heels.
Right.
Meltzer would say Goldberg got way more cheers than Nash, but there was a visible and notable anti-Goldberg segment as well. There were Goldberg sucks chants earlier, but they were quickly drowned out. Then really loud Nash sucks chants. The crowd intensity was equivalent to being the biggest match of the year. They did a UFC spot where Goldberg was pounding from the mount and Nash caught him in an armbar, a really lame looking armbar, but still from Nash, it was really cool. And Goldberg got out of that and into the ankle lock. he continues to break down the match, but he also says this: Hall ran in and zapped Goldberg with a cattle prod, which Nash didn't see. Nash then jackknifed Goldberg to win the title. There was a huge initial pop saying the title change, but after the show went off the air and Luger and Konnan were in the ring for the celebration, the crowd was 60% boos, 2 3/4 stars. Were you already in the car by the time the boos happened, or were you there to see that?
No, I'm gone.
So you're in the car with Bobby Heenan. You're on your way to the hotel, and he says,
"We've killed the golden goose, or we've made a big mistake." And I say, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure we can't do something to bring Goldberg back. You know, like maybe like when Tommy Rich beat Harley Race and Harley Race beat him back 2 days later or whatever. And I know it's hard to compare that Georgia territory to what's going on nationally now, but you know, I'm sure we could. So I didn't feel as negative about it as Heenan did, but Heenan was very negative about it. And then again, I thought about it just long enough to say, fuck it. We got a show tomorrow, because that's what we had to do. We had to regroup and do something tomorrow. I didn't let things stick with me.
Right.
Like I just didn't. It's the way it was.
I'm curious, when you look back at WCW and you think of the big match we just saw and Goldberg's streak ending, you're still optimistic that, hey, we can still do some cool stuff from here.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody in hindsight thinks that the finger poke of doom was the right next step.
No. Now that was,
would you have booked Nash Goldberg in a rematch for, say, Super Brawl?
Sure. Or booked him in a rematch for a Nitro where he got all the eyes on it and Goldberg wins. That'd have been the way to do it. But not that the finger poke of doom to me, and we're talking about this and not that. The finger poke of doom to me was, the one when it happened. I didn't think we could get. I didn't think we had an answer for that. This I thought we did, because this was a wrestling angle that was a gimmick. It was horrible.
I don't know, man. It's hard for me to watch this show and not have weird mixed emotions, knowing this is one of the high points of WCW. As we said, the largest gate in WCW pay-per-view history. But dude, we're on the fast track to bad shit.
Yeah.
Do you think there were lessons that people have learned from wrestling, like inside wrestling, from these moments? Or do you think people are so, you made a great analogy earlier when you said we're so focused on doing what we're doing that we're not waiting, we're not figuring out what else could we be doing. And I sort of made the analogy of you working in the business instead of working on the business.
Right.
Do you think the booking and decision making and creative process, and you guys were so entrenched in what you were doing that maybe nobody was worrying about working on it? They were too busy being in it.
Yeah. I think that has to be. Yeah. And I think the fact that we had to, I don't think there was any long-term booking.
No, that's what I mean. It's less about the big vision. Like you go back and listen, we've talked about this on Bischoff's podcast, but if you look at the long-term vision of what Eric wanted to do, he wanted to get rid of house shows. He wanted to bring in some of the more established talent. He wanted to bring in new, young, exciting talent. He wanted to put main event matches on free TV. He wanted to go live. He wanted to go head to head. He wanted to turn Hulk Hogan into a bad guy. He wanted to create a takeover angle. I mean, so he's got a lot of things. I mean, he swung for the fences with the Tonight Show and with the NBA stuff. And it's some really cool stuff. And then he just fell into some other things accidentally, like the Goldberg thing. and they were all home runs. But eventually, it feels like some of that long-term vision fades, and it's more a function of, okay, what are we doing this week?
Yeah.
Okay, what are we doing next?
Right.
Instead of getting to the end and working backwards, we find ourselves, and it almost feels like wrestling in this era became more like a Mad Lib, where there is a story and you've just got to say words and then plop the words in and see if it makes any sense. Because back in the day, you know, we've heard that Vince McMahon would book like WrestleMania to WrestleMania. Okay, here's the main event I want next year. Now let's back into how do we get there? And here it just feels like, okay, what if we did this? And then we go do it. But there's no real vision for the long term. I think that started here and it's still happening now.
Probably so. You probably so. I think that, listen, booking changed. Boy, I know I'm really reaching for things here, but booking changed when you start using writers.
Yeah,
it did. And so many things go into booking now that, and I'm only speaking on, I don't know how AEW books. I know Tony is the writer of the show. I know he's got his EVPs. I know they all talk during the week and come up with stuff. But back then, they would, like, for instance, if Goldberg wins the title over Hogan, you would think that now, okay, we're going to give Goldberg the title and we're going to keep the title on him until, and then, okay, but then they keep going and going and going with it. And all of a sudden they have an idea, let's beat him. And they probably came up with that on the spur of the moment. Or maybe it was a politically motivated thing by Kevin. You know, when they talk about the politics behind the scenes,
right?
Maybe Kevin pushed for it and maybe Eric changed his mind on it. I know we're talking around a lot of things here, but, yeah, booking changed a great deal. Probably starting with this. Probably for the worse.
Well, boys and girls, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm going to cut you off.
I'm not one to think that only wrestling people can do wrestling shows.
Right.
I never was one of that. But I'm also think about that if you're going to get involved in wrestling, you can't be just a writer who maybe could have written for the Tonight Show or could have done a screenplay or something like that, going into it thinking that this is just like any other form of entertainment. It's not. You got to have some sort of love for the business and background for the business. I always thought Eric Bischoff did. I always thought Russo did. I know Tony does. Obviously, Vince grew up in the business. But booking's a tough thing, man. I mean, it really is. It's a tough thing. And I'm just glad I'm not part of the creative process, because the creative process dragged your ass down, and it drug Eric's ass down. I think I really do.
Well, we hope we didn't drag your ass down.
Yeah, I hope not.
We've had a fun time busting Tony's balls today, or at least I have, and I hope you have on this very special Christmas Eve's Eve. We hope you guys have a great Christmas Eve and a great Christmas, and we'll be back with you next week for New Year's Eve's Eve. But before then, you're getting not one, but 2 bonus episodes from Tony and myself. So stick around here. They're going to be here on the main feed. We're proud to bring them to you with only one sponsor, Geico. And Geico has really stepped out on a limb here and gone to bat for all of our listeners. And they're getting you some great bonus stuff. So if you haven't already, please check them out and support all of our great sponsors here. As a reminder, you can get all these shows early and ad free over at adfreeshows.com. And of course, patreon.com/WHW Monday. But right now, Tony, it feels like it's about that time.
Well, Conrad Thompson, here we are in the Conradison, in the family room of the Conradison, right in front of we are in front of the fireplace. And it's just about time for old St. Nick to come down the the chimney, and wait a second. Oh, he's stuck. He's stuck. Let's get the light on the iPhone here to look up. My God, that's not Santa Claus. That's Dave Silva. He's got his fat ass stuck in the chimney at the Conradison. Wait a minute. Let me get this taser and stick it up his ass. And he goes right up the chimney. And to all, a good night. We'll see you next week on What Happened When. On Wednesdays, we're on Westwood 1, but Mondays, we're on
Patron.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.